barely hear you, Michael. Oh, hey. Hey, world. We're here up in the press box. Tim Conti got here late tonight. Crazy Friday, but we made it. Jeff Goddard is on his way. We have an incredible game for you. We're excited to bring it to you here, and we're going to get underway in just a few ticks. So here we're live up on the board here at Bryant Stadium. Incredible crowd. I'd even had to park in a different spot than normal. And on the way in, the line was extending a good 100, 200 yards for people still waiting to get into this contest. So you're going to see this stadium fill up. You're going to feel the electricity just elevate. And two undefeated teams coming in here to Bryant Stadium towards the third quarter of the season. And much more than just a regular undefeated team against an undefeated team comes the true crosstown rivals. Yes, Kathleen, always a rival of ours, but George Jenkins is just always wanted to get that win against the Lakeland Dreadnoughts. An important win like this, that would be a statement for them that they can look back upon. They have yet to do that. So this is their night. The Dreadnoughts, of course, want to protect home field. They feel that they have an incredible season going under Coach Castle and want to keep that momentum alive. So thank you for joining us tonight and staying with us. We are excited to bring you the live webcast here Friday Night Live at Bryant Stadium. Bill Castle Field, George Jenkins Eagles against the Lakeland Dreadnoughts. Jeff Goddard, like I said, we were kind of texting back and forth, and he should be here momentarily, so we'll have the full crew. He's got some great background on George Jenkins as well. He told me that he's going to fill us in as we go through the first quarter. So we're, again, thankful as always. Feel the breeze coming in off Lake Parker here, so it's a good thing, and fall, and we look forward to bringing you this broadcast. So, again, just a few minutes. We'll get the team through the runway to victory, and we'll get this broadcast going. So stay with us, and we'll be right back.
And seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveForExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th Annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different, and we prove it.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. Hey, Judith, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Tinty. Been in the sun all day.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for one person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
As you see right there, the captains for the Dreadnoughts heading onto the field, 19, 96, 13, and 55 for the Knots. Getting out there to shake the Jenkins players' hands as we are at that point. The runway to victory is set, and we are set as well. We'd like to thank Jersey Mike's Subs and the LHS TSA Club for being the press box sponsors tonight. So thank them very much.
Number 55, Tanner Howe, and number 96,
Latrell Jean. Howard, let's see, number 19, Jahari Martin, and number 55, Tanner Howe. the 12th grade offensive lineman getting to be a captain tonight. How about that? The Knots win another one. Our percentages are going up. We are deferring to the second half. And we'll kick off to the Jenkins Eagles here at Bryant Stadium tonight.
The Eagles will receive the opening kickoff, and the Dreadnoughts will defend the north end zone.
So there they go, heading back to their teams. Jenkins trying to sink the Dreadnought ship, of course. That's what their banner says down on the field. And the Knots trying to bring home their 7th victory of this season.
Now, throughout the event, you will receive important information shown on the scoreboard concerning protocol for inclement weather.
So welcome to the, again, abbreviated pregame show here at Bryant Stadium. Jeff and I both running a little late, having some obligations. I was the other side of Orlando about an hour ago, and you know how that traffic goes on a Friday evening. Jeff was coming from the other coast. He was over in the Brandon area, fighting traffic coming this way. So we're hoping to meet about the same time, but I guess I beat him by a few minutes. He should be up here with me in just a few moments. You know, you ask how Jenkins got to this point. Many might be thinking, well, how is Jenkins undefeated this year? They've been a team that's been 50-50 or even lackluster at best. Under the head coach Chris Canning this year, assistant head coach John Freeman, they've put together quite a talented squad. They don't have a ton of people, but they're playing together as a team. They have a very talented quarterback and a very talented running back. So at their skilled positions, they are putting up a lot of points. And when I say that, I'm not just saying 14 points, 21 points a game. They're beating some folks by 40 points. So they are very capable. We don't have to tell you much about the Dreadnoughts' capabilities, as the Knots coming in with a healthy squad this far in the season, which is a blessing. Ski Milk Williams, the quarterback, has had a nice season, as the Dreadnoughts are not going to wait. Here come your Dreadnoughts. And the Eagles now coming onto the field behind the Knots. This has got all the makings of a good one. Perhaps one of those historic battles that we'll talk about for years to come. As I see one Jeff Goddard making his way up the stairs and over to the broadcasting table. He'll put the headgear on and we'll get this thing going just in time, my friend. Look at that. Able to pick his way through the traffic and get here before kickoff. Pretty admirable job, Mr. Jeff
Just
Goddard.
in time for kickoff.
Nice thing. Take a seat. One of the best seats in the house up here at Bryant Stadium as it's continuing to fill up. I don't know if you saw, there's still a line out there for people waiting to get in, buying tickets.
A little bit bigger crowd than we normally see from Jenkins, but as good of a year as they're having, I thought there might even be more Jenkins fans.
We'll see if it continues to get padded and fill up a little bit here.
Still a lot of people milling around down there, that's for sure.
As you saw, the Dreadnoughts won the coin toss, and they have deferred. So Hohenthaler, Jace, number 37, the 12th grade kicker, punter extraordinaire, has been doing a fantastic job this year. Came in as a punt specialist, and that was really his focus, but has come around to the kicking side very nicely. struggled a bit last week on a few extra points, but not necessarily all his fault. Sometimes just not in sync with the snapper and the hold, and long snapper had a bit of a challenging week last week. But Jace has consistently been booting it in the end zone week after week, and he's going to lay foot to leg here, end over end. It's going to be caught at the 6-yard line and returnable by an Eagle. Straight up the gut, spun around and dropped at the 25.
Sometimes it's good if you can kick the ball in the kickoff and make him catch it inside the 5 and make him return it. And this time they got the 25 anyway, so.
I think the not special teams, Jeff has done a good job this year. So we'll see what the Eagles come out with. What type of offense we're going to see from them tonight. The quarterback rubs his hands together. He has a running back on each side of him, split in the middle. Calls for the ball, takes a 2-step drop. Getting some pressure now, escapes to the left side, has a little bit of room. Tries to get the corner, cuts back, gets to the 33, maybe 32-yard line.
There that Tariq Starks is as he scrambles and picks up about 7 yards. In addition to playing quarterback, he also plays defense. So we'll see him play 2 ways tonight. But there is a flag holding on the Eagles, so we'll come back.
Well, that play taking a long time to develop for the Eagles. And Starks, the one thing in the first play you'll notice is kind of a pro set type offense. He runs, doesn't look like a high school quarterback in some of his actions and movements, Jeff. He's
big.
Mature, both
big.
And I was going to just say, both in height and seemingly how he handles the ball. That time, well covered downfield. He was going to take a quick 2-step drop and try to fire it over, and his receivers were covered, so he ran the ball, but a holding penalty for the Eagles results in a 1st and 20. Starks hands off to number 21, right side, tries to foul his block, spins down at the 17-yard line.
Burton Mobley gets a few yards for the Eagles before he's brought down. Looks like there might be a... Hugh Hall made a tackle for Lakeland. The way the referee was signaling, I thought for a second it was another flag, but there was not on that play. I want to give a quick shout out to Coach Balo's parents watching up in the Washington, D.C. area. So the image is crystal clear tonight. They even sent me a picture of you, Tim.
All right.
For the pregame show. And Will's aunts and uncles are watching in Indiana and Michigan as well. So thanks to the Baylor clan for tuning in.
Second down 18, Starks, 2-step drop. Getting some pressure from number 23 on the left side. He's going to be brought down and sacked. Big play by the Dreadnought defense on a long second down. It'll bring up a huge 3rd down conversion attempt here for the Eagles early on.
Thomas pursuing from the backside makes a tackle. It looks like Lloyd Summerall may help finish him off, but that was definitely A.J. Thomas gets the credit for that sack.
It's only a 2-yard loss, but most importantly, probably the loss of down. 3rd and 18 now. Officially marked maybe as a 3rd and 20. Early on here, first quarter. Eagles, Dreadnoughts. Big home game for the orange and black. As Starks calls for the ball again on a 3rd and 20. Let's see what he can come up with. Spins around, getting pressure, dropped again. The Dreadnought D wreaking havoc in the backfield. Slow with a nice
Sloan
play.
got it that time, kind of was on the ground. He kind of just tripped him up by his ankles. I don't think that Starks really saw him. I think they probably caught him off guard. Just a great individual effort there by P.J. Sloan. He would not be denied.
Starks is just running for his life early on in that first series.
Dreadnoughts definitely brought the pressure, that's for sure.
Punter standing right at his own goal line.
He had to get it up very quickly as it was about to be blocked. And it being a short punt, Lakeland's not going to field it. Takes a bounce back in favor of Lakeland. Number 75 for George Jenkins. Downs the ball, Cameron Jones. Not very often, Tim, you see an offensive lineman downfield downing a punt. A little unusual.
After getting a taste of returning some balls, Chris Howard wanted to field that ball, but wise decision to step away from it there. A lot more bad things could have happened probably than taking the risk of getting that ball.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he didn't field that ball. He could have had a return, as it was not a very high punt.
Ski McWilliams hands off first play to Bowman. Bowman skips one man and picks up a few yards to the 35.
2 yards to be second and 8. Coach Castle's decision to defer and go on defense first paid off as we're able to force a 3 and out with the help of the holding penalty and got the ball back to start this possession at at George Jenkins' 37-yard line. So a short field to work with.
Jeff, different story this week with the Knots last week having kind of the run of the field, so to speak. Huge holes for Bowman to run through. This time, going to have to work a little bit harder. Going to have to see some of his real talent come out as fake handoff to Bowman. Ski McWilliams gets spun around and dropped right there for no gain.
Lose about a yard. So that'd be 3rd and 9 from the 36. That didn't fool anybody, did it, Tim?
No. I tell you, this Eagles team reminds me of the Venice Indians, just the kind of look that they have. Very stingy, very fast to the ball, group tackling. So the Knots are going to have to go maybe a little deeper in the playbook tonight. Sure, Coach Castle's
going to have to move the ball through the air some.
3rd and 9. He's going to try right now. The bad snap, though. He's going to roll to the right side. He has a couple yards ahead of him, green yards, almost runs into the
almost
ref.
To the sideline. Referee out there. I think that actually was not that bad of a snap. Maybe slightly, though. He just kind of mishandled it.
I think he looked to the right before he had it in his hands.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't a perfect snap. One he should have, I'm sure he would tell you, should have handled. But he does pick up about 4 yards down to the 32-yard line, so 4th and 5. This is a situation here. I don't think Coach Castle is going to have your boy Jace attempt a 49-yarder. That might be slightly out of his range.
Will we see the fake snap here to try to draw the Jenkins offsides?
I think you go for it. There's no reason to punt. If it goes in the end zone, you gain,
I mean, that play where he does the hard snap count to try to get the first down.
We'll go for it eventually. But they might try to do that first.
And he did.
I think that's going to be on Jenkins. I mean, the left guard for Lakeland, I think it was after Jenkins' defensive lineman touched him. And that is correct. It was against the Eagles. And is there enough for a first down? It should be, unless it's like a half yard short. I think.
Showing 4th and inches on the sideline. The board says 1st and 10.
But they haven't moved the chains yet.
But the chains have not moved, so we're going to go with the 4th and just a few inches to go.
I'm surprised they didn't measure it.
Let's see if the big man goes straight up the middle.
It's an easy conversion on the 4th. You know, Tim, I'm not even going to say 4th and inches. I'm going to say that was 4th and an inch.
And we've used
Jahari Martin, the linebacker.
Yeah, Jahari's done a great job at the goal line, and same type of situation where you have to get a few inches. Jahari's got the big body to push the pile forward, and it does pick up the first down. Jahari actually stays in that hammer formation. Number 44 also stays in. Khalil Crawford. Bowman in back. Flag with some movement, I believe, on the Knots. No, Eagles move, so Dreadnoughts will pick up 5 more yards.
Of course, George Jenkins was 4-0 heading in the last. They lost to Kissimmee Gateway 52-20, so lost a little bit of luster there. But nonetheless, still off to the best start in school history. On defense, they're led by their defensive lineman number 7, Marvin Landy, who's only a junior, 6'4", 200, so not all that big. So we'll see if he can have any success against Lakeland's big offensive line.
Power formation again, just straight up the gut. Bowman trying to run behind.
Bowman not finding a lot of room so far early tonight. Steven Mansker made the tackle for George Jenkins.
Running behind Crawford and Martin.
DeMarcus Bowman comes into this game, Tim, with 955 yards rushing. So now he's about 41 yards short of 1,000 for the season and 17 touchdowns, which is pretty amazing stat through 6 games. So he's almost averaging 3 touchdowns per game. Pretty gaudy stats there for the talented junior tailback.
Back to the I formation. Quick pop. Finley Graham to the left side picks up a few. Just going to be still, I think, just shy of the first down.
Demaria Johnson and Walter Kemp combined to make the tackle for George Jenkins. Small gain. It's going to be 3rd and about
Play gain a yard, brings up 3rd down and 2.
Big number 7 checks in for the Dreadnoughts on the tight end position.
Might be a long 2 or short 3. We'll call it 3rd and 2.
Weston Howard far out to the left side. Bowman about 4 yards deep. Ski McWilliams gets the ball, going to fire it over, and now has pressure, keeps it, and spun out for no gain.
I believe that was a design quarterback run for Ski McWilliams, who kind of faked the quick wide receiver screen to the left and then was going to run to the right, but
officials timeout for the first quarter water break.
Real quick, a good job by George Jenkins not being fooled by that fake by Ski McWilliams.
Let's go ahead and take a brief timeout here with the score 0-0. 5:29 remaining in the first quarter. We'll be right back. Back at Bryant Stadium. Just announced the tradition that Jeff and I talked about last week, where at the end of the first quarter we wave to the Carol Barnett Jenkins Pavilion for Women and Children on the 6th floor, the pediatric unit. And everyone's going to stop at the end of the first quarter and just acknowledge those folks and give them some encouragement and tell them how much we appreciate them supporting the Dreadnoughts. Here comes Ski McWilliams on a big 4th down. Bowman to the outside, has a little bit of room, takes an interesting path. He could have cut back inside, but somehow I think was indecisive there and tripped over number 20.
I think he may have also just wanted to make sure he got the first down. Yeah, as a flag on the play, though. Holding against Lakeland. So now it's 4th and 12. Maybe you do kick a field goal. Let's see what Coach Castle does. Let's see, the ball is going to be spotted on the 20. Yeah, as Jace does come in, or is coming on the field now. It looks like it'll be spotted on the 21 and 22 yard line. No, that's 22. Yeah, it should be a 39-yard field goal.
Penalty brings up 4th down and 12 for the Dreadnoughts.
4th and 12, they decide to try to give Hohenthaler the opportunity to put the first points on the board at the 5:23 mark. Howard checks back. Jace is ready. See how the snap is. Looks good. Howard had a little bit of trouble getting it down. Jace gets it off and
he made it.
Squirts through the left bottom side of the upright.
It would not have been good from 40 yards, but or 41,
I don't know,
but it's
39
good
and
for
a half.
39. I think that the snap. I mean, the snap was pretty good, but like you said, Howard had a little bit of problem getting the ball down. That definitely threw off Jace's timing. I think if it wasn't for that, I think he probably would have been able to make it with a little bit more ease. But nonetheless, a field goal is a field goal. Doesn't matter how far it goes over the crossbar. So Lakeland will take an early lead here against Jenkins 3-0.
Dreadnoughts move the ball 15 yards in 8 plays, resulting in the 39-yard field goal for Jace Hohenthaler. And just that bit of hesitation that Jeff said caused him to maybe not get the full leg on it. We know he's got plenty of distance normally, but he had to hesitate, and that kind of held back his momentum a little bit, but he was able to get just enough foot on it to sneak it over the upright. As Jace set now to kick off for the second time tonight. This will be the Jenkins' second try. Returnable ball at the 3-yard line. Nice cut to the right side, but grabbed by the jersey and brought down shy of the 15-yard line. Let's see where forward progress.
That's just a perfect example, Tim, what I was talking about earlier. You do kind of almost like a pooch-type kick. Not a pooch kick, but you aim it to try to pin him inside the 5. He catches up at the 2 or 3 yard line, and then they get him tackled, as you said, before the 15. So that's, a net gain as opposed to being a touchback. So great execution by Jason, the kickoff coverage unit.
Also be hosting a pink out game to raise awareness for breast cancer.
Hard to believe, Tim. This is our next to last regular season game of the year.
It's hard
on
to
the road
believe.
next week at Winter Haven, then we here against South Broward 2 weeks from the night. And then we play at Kathleen. Then we have that bye heading into the playoffs. Assuming and hopefully we'll be in the playoffs.
Starks on his second drive, hands off to number 21 across the left side. That's DeBritton Mobley again.
Mobley is their featured tailback. And Jenkins will pass the ball some, but they are looking to primarily move the ball on the ground.
I'd like to give special thanks again to Aunt Tia of Hollywood Cafe. Take your Dreadnought game tickets to Hollywood Cafe and get a free appetizer or cup of Italian ice with your order. Anytime, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 4. They have a location, Hollywood Cafe on Winter Lake Road, across the street from Travis Tech. She also feeds the team, which is no small task whatsoever. If you have any boys in your family, you know how a teenage boy can eat. Wolf it down. Starks calls for the ball, drops 4 steps, rifles it over to the right side, caught at about the 26-yard line, and
it's a nice looking pass there. J.J. Poe with the catch on the very nice pass from Starks. Kind of rifled it in there.
Starks got his ankle hit on that play and was hobbling a little bit, but seems to be okay. Poe with a nice reception brought it after the catch past the 30-yard line.
I want to give a shout out to Keith Corney, who just texted in, watching the game up in Tennessee.
Starks calls for it. 2 men to the left side looking that way. Fires it over. Have a man at, I was going to say, the best opportunity was Jason Hampton,
covers there.
the defender, but the ball was too far. Maybe purposefully thrown out of bounds so that the Dreadnought defender didn't have a chance at it.
As our good friend Keith pointed out, Jenkins' defense looked pretty stout on the opening drive. Looks like we could. Of course, Lakeland's defense looks very good as well, although we just got a holding penalty in the Dreadnought defense on top of that completion, so they're going to have back-to-back first downs. So the Eagles have a little something going out to their own 41-yard line after starting this drive inside their 15.
Defensive holding the call. Brings the ball up outside the 40 to the 41. Mobley, handoff right side, no gain there.
Jahari Martin and Lloyd Summerall make the tackle.
We wanted to make sure we make this announcement about our swim team. The girls swim team won the city championship and broke 3 city records. The 100 breaststroke, Kelly Schmedeke. We know Kelly very well. The 200 medley relay, 154.73. The old record was 158.53. Kelly Schmedeke, Olivia Vignac, Anya Bogdanova, and Lutnia Bogdanova. So Bogdanova sisters bringing it home. 400 free relay. They also had 3 girls get first in 2 individual events and 2 relays. Fantastic job, guys.
Fall starting against George Jenkins, so it's going to make it first and 15, or excuse me, second and 14.
Dreadnoughts good and surf and turf. Laying it on the field and in the water. Kelly Schmedeke is a good friend of ours and been a good neighbor friend for a long time. Her parents, I'm sure, are very proud of her achievements as Starks rolls back, fires it over the sideline again. That's going to be way out of bounds. Starks getting pressure again.
Second time in a row, he's throwing passes to Freddie Carter over to the sideline there. We're both way out of bounds. No chance to catch. Got a chop block call against George Jenkins. A lot of penalties here in the first half. More actually against Jenkins than Lakeland, but both sides have gotten them so far early in this game.
Yeah, I don't want to discount Stark's mobility, Jeff. If you look at him, he's hobbling more and more, and that ankle is heavily taped. So don't know if it's a twisted ankle.
And
but
to make matters worse, they use the same system as Lakeland does to get plays in. He has to run to the coach.
Well,
they might have to start
say
having a receiver or running back run over there to get the
that
play.
And the fact that he's run around so much in the backfield in these first few possessions, the opening first quarter, it can't bode well for the feeling of that ankle. So we'll see how that goes as the game progresses. We're at the 3-minute mark on a 2nd and 36. The Dreadnoughts on a 39-yard field goal enjoy a 3-point lead.
Second and a country mile.
Starks again looking left side, quick pass. Poe gets it, number 11. There's a flag on the play, but he's still on his feet at about the 34-yard line.
It's a good tackle by Antonio Ware. If he had not held on for dear life to his jersey, Poe was going to probably take it to the house. He had an open field in front of him. Good job by Ware, but it might be coming back anyways. As you said, there is another flag.
No flag. Apparently they picked it up and said no flag, so that play will stand. So you got considerable yardage on that play there.
Poe's a nimble little kid there in
Got
the
20
attack.
yards on that play.
He was squirting in and out and just kind of ducking between the big trees there in the midfield and was able to pick up good extra yardage after the catch. We call those the yaks.
It looks weird seeing the score being Lakeland up 3-0. When's the last time you saw Lakeland's first points be a field goal?
Boy, that would be an interesting stat. It's been a while from our recollection. Starks trying to put some points on the board for the Eagles. Has some time, fires it. Caught, number 15 over the middle.
A couple yards short of the first down. It's at the 47-yard line. It's going to be marked, and they got to get to Lakeland's 49-yard line. So it's going to be 4th and 4. Finley Graham did a good job of getting the receiver down. So let's see what Coach Canning for Jenkins decides to do here. Is he going to roll the dice and go for it and risk giving Lakeland excellent field position again? Or do you play the field position game and punt it? I would punt it if I was Jenkins right now. I mean, if it was like 4th and 1 or 2 maybe, but 4th and 4.
Looks like they are going to punt it, Jeff.
That's a big risk.
Dare we say this game the defensive backs will be tested maybe a little bit more than they have all season?
The defensive backs?
Yeah, for Dreadnoughts.
Possibly.
Seems like it already. They're, as Starks has been throwing some balls on a rope.
Delay a game against the Eagles.
Really
so now it'll be 4th and 9.
Really
so now no doubt about it,
inconsequential if they're going to punt it
now.
anyways. Doesn't really matter too much.
Although it's not like their punter looked like a great punter on the first punt, so I don't think you really want to give up 5 yards.
This changed things up as Howard slips in with Finley Graham, so now they go to that traditional potentially 2 receiver set. See if it's a true punt, and it is. Good blocking. Pretty good kick, but Finley Graham's going to get a shot at it at the 25. He's waiting for some blocks to happen. Good block by number 50 there, and Finley gets wrapped up, hit hard at the 35. Nice tackle by number 25.
25, Jalen Williams of the Eagles. Finley, I know he was kind of waiting for his blocks to hit, but a little bit too much dancing around there, Tim. You got to just
go.
Hit it. You got to hit it. I like to watch Chicago PD. I don't know if you ever watch that show, and sometimes after they're in the squad room talking about what to do, then the sergeant Voight says, hit it. You know, and that's what you got to do. You catch that punt, you got to hit it.
Loving and loving memory of Thomas DeCesare.
Pointing out the Dreadnought flags here up top of the press box in memory of Tom DeCesare. Low snap. Ski McWilliams has a block and now has some hold. Room. Ski McWilliams all the way to the 45-yard line of the Eagles.
Tackle by number 28, Walter Kim. That was the equivalent of the muff punt when you pick it up and then everyone kind of hesitates and you have a big hole.
Yeah, it almost throws the defense off in a way. It throws their rhythm
you
off.
normally see it on a punt, but the same thing right there.
Well, it kind of stops them. It freezes them. They're like, oh, what do I do? The ball's on the ground. It's almost like your brain has a cramp.
And then sometimes you get out of your, your containment or out of your lane. You're not keeping your assignment. Out of your gap. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah, some of the linebackers get your gap in that situation.
Good heads-up play by McWilliams. Bowman trying to get some rhythm now. Picks up about 5 yards.
One thing that I've noticed about the Jenkins defense tonight is they bring Bowman down after about a 5 or 6-yard gain. Jenkins is the physical defense. They've had several pretty hard punishing hits against Lakeland tonight.
And they're hitting low too, Jeff. They're not trying to tackle high, so they're going right for his knees and knocking his legs out, which is what you got to do when you have a talented runner. Can't go anywhere when your legs are tied up.
It looks like DeMarcus is going to have to earn every yard tonight, Tim.
Looks like George Jenkins timeout. You know, that was an interesting call, a timeout. I think it would probably be good for the Jenkins team as the Dreadnoughts trying to get up quick and get some momentum. The coach didn't like it and called the quick timeout here with 43 seconds left in the first quarter.
Yeah, you might as well, because in the first half especially, Tim, there's no reason to really save your timeouts. A lot of times you end up, not using any of them. In the second half, especially if it's a close game, you kind of want to save them in case you need them. But in the first half, I mean, I don't want to say you should just waste them or use them anytime, but if you think you might need to burn one, go for it. There's no reason not to.
The JV team won their game last night against Ridge, 48-26. They had their last home game against Winter Haven October 25th at a 7 p.m. kickoff. Come out and support the JV Dreadnoughts. Their last home game on October 25th.
At 7 p.m. Come on out and support our JV Dreadnoughts.
43 ticks left here in the first quarter. The Dreadnoughts clinging to that tiny little 3-point lead. Jace Hohenthaler in the 39-yarder trying to add to it. Ski McWilliams follows his block. Bowman with a nice block. The running back really sprung that as you see Eagles strewn out on the ground. The Dreadnoughts laying some wood there.
I think what you're seeing is you're seeing Coach Castle make a little adjustment here. He sees that Jenkins is really, as you see, an injured Eagle on the field there.
Well, there were
57.
There were 3
Stephen Mansker.
Eagles literally laid out on that play by the Dreadnoughts blocking, and Bowman laid the lick on one of them.
Can I get some syrup with those pancakes?
Yes.
But anyways, back to my observation there. I think you see Coach Castle already made a little bit of adjustment. As Jenkins, it's obvious, is really keying on Bowman tonight and has done a good job with him so far. So now he's starting to call some design quarterback runs for Ski McWilliams, get him involved in the run game. And he's had a couple nice runs in this drive. And all that's going to do is make Jenkins really account for him, which should hopefully maybe a little bit open up some bigger holes for DeMarcus Bowman.
Speaking of Coach Bill Castle, the booster meeting is now the Dreadnought highlight report with Coach Castle. It is still on Monday nights, and it will be at 7 p.m. in the LHS film room, the locker room. Come listen to Coach Castle talk Dreadnought football. He always has a special guest and some fun things happening, and he'll break down some film for you, and this would be a neat one to go to.
I tell you, I used to come to, as we see, we got a timeout for the injury brought to you by Smith, Federer, and Smith. As you see up on our new scoreboard. But when I still lived in Lakeland, I used to go to the Booster Club meeting some. Since having moved over to Valrico, I think I've only been back maybe once. But it's a great experience. Have you ever been to that one meeting before?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're out there and you live in the Lakeland area, and you're, especially if you're a Lakeland alum, and you've never been to a Booster Club or meeting, or now we call it the highlight report, you got to go. It is just one time. You're doing yourself a favor if you go. I promise you won't regret it. You have Dreadnoughts there from some. It's long ago. It's the class of 1952.
You just never know how long it's going to be the Coach Castle highlight report.
You never know.
We hope a while, but you never know. As
multiple generations, sometimes the people coming together to the Booster Club, and just it's a great experience. And everyone in the beginning stands up, or not stands up, at least sitting down, tells you what your connection is to the program, whether you're an alum or whether you're just a fan. And if you're an alum, you say what year you graduated, and that's pretty neat because you have Grandpa Stinson, like class of 48 or something like that, and then usually his son's there's like class of 72, and so it's just neat to see multi-generation families there at the Booster Club meeting. So
Stephen Mansker, the injured Eagle player, number 57, as you can see, is up, but is very gingerly walking off the field. It'll be another moment or so before he gets to the sideline. He's not feeling too well at this moment. The Dreadnoughts moving the ball now on a couple big runs. Ski McWilliams, primarily the quarterback, keeping the ball on some good blocks. This time spreading the field. Howard and Finley Graham go out left, west to the near side. Bowman stays back to block on a first down and 10, just outside the 25. The ref says, let's go, boys. Ski McWilliams gets the ball, fake handoff up the middle again. McWilliams, stiff arms, off, picks up a good positive yards, but a flag is at the 20.
One thing about Coach Castle, he believes in the old philosophy of summons, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. He's going to, if someone's working, he's going to keep on going back to that well. But unfortunately, that one's not going to count because of holding. We were just praising the offensive line after that last run. Great job of blocking, but this time we get called for a holding.
Was that one Savannah Collins that we saw down there earlier?
Yes, Savannah's here tonight, making a surprise appearance. So we're excited to have her back with us tonight.
Mike in hand on the sidelines where she's most at home. 26 seconds now after the holding call, 1st and 22.
That means you're stuck with me up here in the postgame show tonight.
That's
Savannah
right.
will be doing the interviews.
Fired over, caught in the flat, lots of room. Finley Graham cuts back and gets near the first down marker, maybe a yard short though. Good completion by McWilliams, seeing Finley Graham out there all by himself.
Back, and most of the rest of the yardage, and it's going to be close to a first down.
That was a long pass to get it over to Graham, but
Going to be about 2nd and 1, I think.
Play gain 16 yards, brings up 2nd down and 1.
And actually, that's going to be the last play of the first quarter. Dreadnoughts are up over the Eagles 3-0, but Lakeland is driving on the actually inside the red zone. But now it's time for the Dreadnought wave, Tim.
it is time for the Dreadnought wave.
Fans, please stand and direct your attention to the 6th
All the fans are
floor of the new
standing up right now.
on the campus of Lakeland Regional Health. On the count of 3, we ask you to light your cell phones and give a big Dreadnought wave.
Wow, look at them all up there on the 6th floor. Lots of
You can see some of the lights on in some of the
lots of cell
rooms.
phones going. Over to the left, guys. Keep moving the camera to the left.
The big Dreadnought wave for the children and their families. 1, 2, 3.
Very
you can actually
cool.
see some of the people in there. You
Yeah,
can see the kids waving
check
their
'em
phones
out.
and glow sticks. Actually, I think they have glow
Way
sticks.
to go, guys. Fantastic. As the fireworks
And
booming
the
overhead.
fireworks. It's cool with our cell phones, but we should pass out glow sticks one game. Have
Glow
sponsors.
sticks would be awesome.
Yes, that'd be really cool. What's cool too is you see both teams doing it. The coaches are there doing it. It's a total buy-in from Coach Castle and his staff. And you saw the Jenkins players doing it, the Jenkins fans. So it's great to see even our opponents doing
Everyone's a family when it comes to that kind of stuff. I don't care
No
what
doubt, no
colors
doubt.
you're wearing. We're all the same in support. So 12 minutes go back up on the clock to start the second quarter with the Dreadnoughts driving up 3-0. Trying to add to that 39-yard field goal in the first quarter by one Jace Hohenthainer. Barely squeaking through, but just got over the upright. Zipper, 4-yard spread outside the line. Howard out there with him. Handoff Bowman. Bowman gets a nice block. Following his blockers left. Bowman's not going to be denied. Gets in. Touchdown.
Lakeland.
Marcus Bowman.
And no flags on the play.
Debo.
That's the biggest hole DeMarcus has had to run through all night. And hence his biggest gain of the night.
We don't have a Tebow, but we got a Debo.
Was a 17-yard touchdown run, I believe. His 18th of the year. And with that run, that might put him over 1,000 for the year. If not, he's getting very close.
Bowman ran like Tebow on that play, just pulling players with him. Got a few nice blocks straight up the gut. I just know DeMar. He's got that kind of, he's just like, no way. There's no one going to get me down. I see orange. I see the letters right in front of me. I'm getting in the end zone as Jace Hohenthainer set. Extra point. Sneaks inside the left.
They haven't ruled.
They're unsure.
Signaled yet. No good. It's no good.
They don't know. Wait a minute. We need to see that on the replay.
By Jill Beavis. She has spearheaded this program in partnership between Lakeland High School and the hospital. Tell me where you got this amazing idea.
Well, we actually copied this idea from the University of Iowa Hawkeyes. They do a Hawkeye wave with their children's hospital, which is right next to their stadium. And so we had 2 middle schoolers that approached me and said, can we do that with our new children's pavilion? And so we started the research and to see what floor they were on, and we took it from there.
And now it's happening. And it goes beyond just this first quarter. Tell me about the partnership between the Children's Hospital and Lakeland High School.
So just today, as a matter of fact, we took up 3 players to go see the children. They walked up on the floor. The pediatric unit does a great job of having a tailgate party for them. So our players came up, participated in the tailgate, and it really warmed their hearts. You know, they were up there, we bring T-shirts to all the students, to all the patients, and we bring T-shirts for all the staff to wear. So it's a great collaboration between our kids and their kids, and it just is a way for us to give back and inspire. all those children who are up there suffering tonight or healing tonight and trying to get through their day.
Right, absolutely. And I know it must bring so much joy to that 6th floor, but tell me about how it has affected maybe some of our students who are going in and seeing these kids who are at the center.
Right, so we took 3 players up today, and I kind of took up the big guys. So we had 3 big guys up there, and to see them holding little babies with IVs in their arms, and and they said, man, this is what it's all about, giving back. And our players are Dreadnoughts, and they have a lot of recognition in the community. So for us to be able to give back to the hospital, that's what it's all about. We're very excited about our partnership with them. They've been amazing to work with. I was on the phone with them. We give them the countdown because they can't really see our jumbotron so close. So we're on the phone, and they're over there doing their part, and we're over here doing our part. So
awesome. Well, that is our newest Lakeland tradition. For a school embedded in tradition, there's always room for one more, especially one like this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Savannah. Appreciate it.
Back to you guys.
Wow, thank you, Savannah. What a fantastic job on the sideline interviewing, just getting a real glimpse and taste of what this little program is about as Starks flips it over. This is the first play, so you didn't miss anything. Mobley trying to get to the outside, struggling, gets hammered.
Great
Still
interview
stay
there
on his
by
feet,
Savannah
though.
had with
Yeah.
us. Jill Beavis, who's on the board of the Booster Club, and she's spearheaded in getting their Dreadnought wave set up, as she was telling Savannah there. Great job by Jill.
And it's not just a wave here on the field, Jeff. They're going up and getting to hold these kids and getting to really interact with them and see the real needs and how we can make a small difference. Don't let anyone ever tell you, folks, if you heard, it was 2 middle schoolers that came to her and said, hey, can we start something like Iowa has in their program? And that's all it took to get the wheels in motion, and look at what happens now as a result. So fantastic job, kids, of recommending that as Starks fires it over the middle of the field. Caught by number 14, banged at the 50, but nice catch by
Freddie Carter. He's the guy that Starks has looked at several times tonight. The first couple of times he tried to get the ball to him, it was on the sideline route, and he threw it way over his head out of bounds. But that time, as you see, Starks is still limping, but Freddie Carter was wide open over the middle of the field. Just a great play there by Jenkins.
Starks and Carter with the longest offensive play of the night for either team, 27 yards.
We were expecting them to mainly try to move the ball on the ground tonight, but I think they realized early that was probably not going to happen against this Dreadnought defense, and they have had some success passing the ball.
Again, the cornerbacks and defensive backs being tested for the Knots here, and right now,
false start against the Eagles.
The Eagles are finding some wiggle room in the backfield of the Dreadnoughts. Quick 5-yard penalty, 1st and 15, back to the 45. Starks in control. Waiting, looking over his team, calls for the ball. Mobley's going to get the sweep side play. Fumble, ball on the turf. Dreadnoughts have the ball.
I believe.
Huge turnover. And the Dreadnoughts come up with it. Yeah. Give me that turnover chain.
P.J. Sloan, who's already have a sack tonight.
How about P.J. making a statement early on for the defensive player of the game?
And also, he might be interview subject for Savannah after the game.
Sloan with.
So just when Jenkins had a little drive going off that big pass play, next play they fumble after a penalty for a false start. And now Lakeland is in business as they have the ball at their own 46-yard line, 1st and 10, up 9-0 after the missed extra point on that last touchdown.
So after the Sloan tackle in the backfield on Starks, he comes up limping a little bit here. McWilliams airs it out. He has a man west, wide open. Oh, nearly tipped off number 20. Good defensive play and adjustment.
Nasir Bowers, the freshman defensive back.
There you can see Sloan with his prize around his neck.
Broken up by Nasir Bowers.
Bowers, a freshman defensive back for Jenkins with the pass breakup. Great job, because he actually was beat initially by Jadarian West, but he recovered and knocked the ball away at the last second. It was a pretty good pass by Ski McWilliams, but
short.
A little bit short, probably put a little too much air underneath it. If he had let him, that's probably a touchdown. I like it though, Coach Castle going for the big play after the turnover, showing that killer instinct.
Does that a lot. Spreads the field out too. 2nd down now on the 1st down incompletion. Fake handoff to Bowman. It's McWilliams. Giddy up, down, first down, ball up. Back in the hands of the Eagles. Turnover and a turnover. So the Dreadnoughts cough it back up. Ski McWilliams lays it out on the turf, and the Eagles recover.
The fumble was recovered by number 22, Donovan Parham. I don't know if we're doing replays or not tonight, but if so, I'd love to see a replay of that. I thought he was pretty close to being down, but I think he may have been, as he was going down, kind of fell on top of the Jenkins player. So therefore, he was not down, and the ball on the ground did not cost a fumble, but I'm not 100% sure that's what happened. So now Jenkins basically has the ball back just about where they fumbled a while ago.
P.J. Sloan doesn't need to give the chain back, does he?
He might have to give it to Donovan Parham across the way there.
Oh, my.
I tell you, Tim, that was not a designed quarterback keeper. That was supposed to be a handoff to Bowman, but the snap was high, and the timing officer had no choice but to run. He actually made a good play out of it, but he ended up fumbling.
See Coach Castle on the sideline coaching, screaming. Saw something he didn't like. There is a flag on the play.
Offsides against Lakeland is the flag. So Jenkins will have 1st and 5, so they have an opportunity here to get some points on the board, as they're now the deepest they have been in the Dreadnought territory all game so far at the Dreadnought 38-yard line, as you can see on your computer screens at home. Or for the technologically advanced, your TV screens, if you have Apple TV or Roku or one of those things.
Starks with a little bit of momentum, hands off Mobley, right side, skips a player, cuts back. Nice job of eluding the defensive line and picks up about 7 yards.
Probably Mobley's best run of the night.
That was a nifty little run. 8 yards officially, first down. So something afoot here for the Eagles. On the turnover, Ski McWilliams coughs it up on the broken play, trying to make something happen, forgot to carry the ball with him. Mobley hit at the line and stuck right there, no gain.
Nothing going for Mobley that time as the Dreadnought defensive line stood up tall.
Jason Hampton right there as well.
P.J. Sloan again in on that tackle.
Yeah.
He's having a great game so far tonight for Lakeland.
.9:44 on the clock, second quarter. Eagles trying to answer, getting pressure. Starks rolling out left side, flips the wrist out of bounds. Pretty intelligently, he's done that a few times tonight, Jeff, just eluding the
avoid the
sack and the potential interception into coverage.
For all the Gator fans out there watching our webcast tonight, that's one of the areas of growth that we've seen in Felipe Franks this year. Last year, he would take quite a few sacks and sometimes even run out of bounds instead of getting rid of the ball. This year's gotten good at doing just that, throwing the ball out of bounds to avoid the sack. So good play there by Starks. About the third or so time he's done that tonight, maybe the fourth.
Should show 3rd and 10 on your screen. Starks gets a little bit of a low snap adjust. Looking downfield, caught and dropped at the 38.
This time, there was no getting away from that sack. It's Latrell Jean and Lloyd Summerall get the sack for Lakeland.
96 prancing around. Get him, Latrell. He said, yep, there I am. Not letting him get away. 7-yard loss. Good job, Mr. Jean. Mean Gene on that play.
It looks like Jenkins might go for it unless they're going to have their quarterback try a pooch kick. But 4th and 17, that would seem kind of crazy to go for it.
Oh, they're lucky they had a whistle blown. Well, that was a wise.
What's he thinking? I mean, 4th and 17. It's not 4th and 7. It's
I don't
4th
know,
and 17.
but if they would have not blown the whistle, number 23, A.J. Thomas, had a straight full run at the quarterback. Maybe the coach saw that and stopped the play. But that was going to be disastrous for the Eagles, as they're going to now punt the ball away, I believe.
He's still in there. Maybe he's going to punt the ball for him. I don't know.
He's going to just
But
pooch.
the quarterback is still in there.
Yeah, he's just going to pooch punt it. But you never know. Always got the option. He sends number 4 in motion. Dreadnoughts coming. Just kicks it to the... Well, he tried to kick it to the right side, and it just kind of went into the hands of the Dreadnoughts. Get it out to the 20. So all that for a normal field position.
Finley was a little more decisive that time and got the ball out to the 20-yard line, which is nice. It gives the offense a little bit more room to work.
Fresh set of downs with the Knott offense. 8-17, coughing up on their last try. Trading fumbles on the last couple series. McWilliams, Bowman with a nice little blocker in front of him. Ellefson leading the way. DeAndre Ellefson was the up back and sprung Bowman. Murphy
Good
on the
tackle
tackle.
by Cal Murphy, the senior linebacker. If he did not get Bowman down, Bowman would have been off to the races.
Dreadnoughts move the chains. Fresh set of downs. Ball just outside the 31. Bowman. Nice cutback. Wiggle, wiggle. Loses the ball. Again, the Dreadnoughts cough it up. This time in Dreadnought territory.
So 3 fumbles in the second quarter so far. 1 by Jenkins, 2 by Lakeland. But the question is, can the Eagles take advantage, or will that Dreadnought defense stand tall again?
The Eagles take over first down and 10 from the Dreadnought 40-yard line.
That's one little disease you don't want to catch.
Fumbleitis?
The fumbleitis. A little bit uncharacteristic for the Dreadnoughts on offense. 2 consecutive series, coughing it up. Now can the Eagles make something happen?
It's a draw
Delayed
play
draw
there by the
to
Eagles.
Mobley, but big shot by Crawford coming over in the last minute.
Lloyd Summerall made the initial tackle.
Summerall just held him up, and Crawford got the dessert.
Just like WWE tag teaming. Tag teaming it.
Lost a yard, brings up second down and 11.
I feel bad for Tyreek Starks or Jenkins. His ankle's got to be killing him. He's going to have to ice it down big time after the game.
Eagles spreading the field. 2 wide receivers each side. Mobley in the backfield with Starks to block. 3-step drop. Looking, getting pressure now. Backside. He's going to be dropped down and tries to get it away, and he did.
And he did. And he
but
had
he
a
paid a
receiver
price,
there.
though. He came down very crazy on that ankle. I saw
Had a
his knee kind of
receiver in the
buckle.
air,
His
yeah.
leg kind of buckled under the weight of the Dreadnought defender.
Because he tried to keep his body up, too, to get rid of the ball, and instead of just going down. And that combined with the weight of the defender, as you said, may have done him in, although he's up, but he's even walking more gingerly now.
It's just an ouchie. It's just, it hurts.
He's going to have to come out at least for a little bit here.
Well, we said that was no small injury early on when we saw him. Literally the first play, Sloan got to him on the tackle. He came up and was limping over to get the play on the sideline, and I said, uh-oh. He didn't even realize he had an ankle injury to that point, and then it's just kind of progressively gotten worse as the Dreadnoughts have applied pressure and made him cut hard on that ankle from time to time. We'll see who they bring in as their backup quarterback.
According to the roster here, number 14, Freddie Carter, who caught that pass down the middle a few possessions ago. The junior is also listed as their quarterback, so let's see if it's number 14 or not. No, it looks like it might be number 6, who's listed as a defensive back, Tyke Wallace. So this could be more of a wildcat type of play. I'm not sure. Let's see.
Mobley's in there still as the running back.
Fakes the handoff. And doesn't get very much. A.J. Thomas with the tackle, number 23 for the Dreadnoughts.
Don't know if anything about Wallace, if he has the ability to pass and get the ball downfield, or if he's just that scat back kind of wildcat player, as Jeff said. We shall see. Not sure that we're going to see. We may see Starks in the remainder of this second quarter. They may give him a break till the second half and evaluate things as Eagles take a timeout with 6:33, and we'll go ahead and take a timeout with 6:33 remaining. The Dreadnoughts lead 9-0. We'll be right back.
Please contact Steve and advertise on the Dreadnought Jumbotron. The Dreadnought Marketplace is still open. Don't miss out on this.
You have rights when you're injured on the job. One example is your right to a one-time change in treating physician. Unfortunately, this valuable right can only be used one time ever. And the very life of your claim may depend on what medical specialist you see. Don't be tricked into using your rights at the wrong time. Remember, the other side will always have the help of legal experts, and you deserve that too. Get the guidance you need before requesting your one-time change. Smith, Fedler, and Smith. Justice for all.
Back in action here at Dreadnought. Oh, a pressure and nearly blocked. Ends up getting a good punt away. Dropped, thrown to the Dreadnoughts. Boy, that was dangerous.
That was dicey.
Very sketchy reception.
So once again, George Jenkins cannot take advantage of a Lakeland fumble. And of course, that time they also had to deal with their quarterback going out, but nonetheless, Lakeland has the ball back, but this time, pretty deep in their own territory.
Technically the third fumble by the Knots, just that time they recovered themselves.
Yeah, that was a fumble, absolutely.
Haven't been able to say that in a while. But the Knots have plenty of time here in the first quarter to still tack some points on, leading 9-0. They've got about 85 yards to go, and Bowman might get a big chunk here. Bowman to the outside. Bowman's going to get the corner. Turn another. Just goes to Marcus Bowman. 40, 30, 20, 10. Is anyone going to get him? No, to Marcus Bowman. There's the play we were waiting for, and a 90-yarder. 86-yarder.
87-yarder, my
We'll
friend.
call it.
You had 2 or 3 George Jenkins defenders that had the angle on Bowman, and one guy really had an angle.
He just flat out beat him with the feet.
From our approach up here, you can actually see the look on Bowman's face. It's almost like he just was determined to beat that guy, and he put in overdrive and left that guy in the dust. That was impressive
run.
Display of speed by DeMarcus Bowman.
I think he's been frustrated, Jeff, at the his performance so far. Obviously the fumble and making good there on an 87-yard run on the first play of that series. Hohenthaler.
So if he wasn't quite over the 1,000-yard mark yet, he is now for the season.
Police officers down there talking to DeMarcus Bowman. They're like, man, that was incredible. I just saw him say, I saw you just fly by us.
Look, they're kind of having a conversation right there.
That's awesome.
Smiling and laughing.
Hey, they can appreciate some good. They were right down there on the sideline. They saw a flash go by, and they're like, what was that?
Man, I'm telling you, that was impressive. Great job, too, bouncing out to the left. Good vision by Bowman. Kind of, broke one little tackle, and then he was off to the races.
So a bit of an extra challenge for Jace Hohenthaler. It's going to be a 25-yard extra point, and it's going to be blocked and spun down, so it'll be no good.
The point after attempt is blocked.
Not doing the best on extra points in the last couple games, Jeff.
No,
a little hiccup there.
It's a team effort. The blocking, the snapping, the holding, the kicking, just a little off. I'm actually surprised Coach Castro didn't go for 2 there like he often does when he missed an extra point. And now he probably wishes he had because they didn't get the extra point anyways.
Excuse me if you hear me hacking a little bit. I've been fighting a cold this week. Went in yesterday and they said, yep, you got the old upper respiratory infection, so that's not fun, but trying to knock it out quick, but can't miss the Dreadnought broadcast for sure, and especially a good one like tonight. The Dreadnoughts now putting a little space in between them and the Eagles and escaping 2 turnovers in the second quarter. So the defense coming up big to keep the goose egg on the board as the Eagles will not return that ball. They'll come out to the 20.
Eagles will take over first down and 10 from their own 20-yard line. Ladies and gentlemen, we encourage you to please visit the concession stand.
We'll see who pops in the ball game at quarterback for the Eagles rather. As you see the Dreadnought student section.
That's one thing that's interesting, Tim, is the fact that in college, on a touchback, you come out to 25, but in high school, it's still the 20, where it used to be in all football.
As the huddle breaks, you see 2 wide receivers go out to each side, but we still see number 6, Wallace, in at quarterback. So for the time being, Starks stays out of the game on the ankle injury. They sent number 11 in motion, but a flag disrupts the play. Delay of game for the Eagles, not helping their cause with 6:12 left in the second quarter. A hearty hello again to everyone, not just here in the state of Florida, but around the country. Had some great feedback this week, and even Mike Barrett sent us a couple little notes of encouragement that y'all are listening and enjoying out there. And Dreadnought Land, we thank you very much for supporting us and giving some words of encouragement. False start against the Eagles, going in the wrong direction right now. 1st and 20. Nice breeze kicking up here in the press box, cooling things off a little bit. Shaking up the humidity that's been here the last month. Quarterback keeper Wallace tries to make something happen, is get driven backwards, a loss of about 4.
That was not happening.
That was not going anywhere.
Tyke Wallace was sacked by Kevis Dyer. Flag on the play.
Uh-oh.
I think they gave him for a late hit because they were blowing the whistle down, and Lakeland kept on working to get him down on the ground.
It appears like that will be the case.
Which would be a shame, as it would take away the bad field position that we forced Jenkins into. Although I'm not exactly sure what's so complicated about this, the referee is talking with 2 of his officials. It's going to be a offsetting cause, unsportsmanlike conduct against Jenkins and Lakeland.
I thought he was saying little birdie flies this way, little birdie flies that way.
Sure, why not?
The result is no flight at all. Ball stays where it is. Eagles still. Oh, I say that, and then they're marching it down.
They're just going to march it down and march it back like they normally do. Well, they should do that because they said it was offsetting, but.
So the Eagles did get to fly a little bit.
How do you explain that, Tim? I don't understand. They said offsetting, and then they marched it off as if it was only against Lakeland.
Looking at Coach Castle, he's not really throwing the cap down, although I see the hands up in the air of what is the explanation.
Brings up 2nd down and 11 for the Eagles.
Because the current penalty yards do not go along with the call that he made. But they're going to let it go. Coach Castle lets it go too. 2nd down and 11 still. The quarterback, Wallace, scrumming around, and my goodness, he gets pounded in the middle. Gets some serious
But
abuse.
3 or 4 Lakeland defenders combined to make that tackle, including, I think, Latrell Jean.
We're going to go ahead, Jeff, and take the officials' timeout water break. And with that, we have Savannah Collins down on the field with some news. Savannah, take it away.
Thanks, guys. I had a chance to talk to the Lakeland offensive line coach, Caleb Pickrell, and we were talking about this system right over here, the Echo system. It has the ability to replay any play on the field within 3 seconds, and you can't make any drastic changes mid-game. But I asked him some of the goals that he sets for his offensive line players in between coming off the field, and he said we try and look at George Jenkins' defensive alignment and look for any holes. And just a couple plays ago, we saw how they were able to spot one of those holes and have a breakthrough for a Dreadnought touchdown tonight.
Thanks, Savannah. Give that girl a bonus.
She's really breaking it down.
That's a professional sideline report right there.
On the payroll. That is, you
She's breaking it down for you.
Don't get any better than that. Good job, Savannah. Thank you for that insight. 5:38 remaining. Final water break of the first half. With some of the penalties now, this first half has drug on a little bit, but the Knots enjoying a 15-point lead, missing a few extra points, and even with 2 turnovers, still able to keep the Eagles out of the end zone thus far. And number 8's back in the ball game, and he's a little bit ginger. He saw a Dreadnought coming and said, I'm getting rid of the ball. I don't care if there's a receiver there or not. So Starks back in, gets pressure on the first play. And why wouldn't you keep pressure on him?
We've had pressure on Jenkins the whole night. Our front 7, Tim, is as good as I've seen it in a long, long time.
Players switch in and out. And plenty of time left. And potentially an opportunity for Graham or Howard to return this ball. Let's see how this plays out. Endo and going to kick. They're going to have to come up. Howard gets it and it's fumbled. That was one of those plays that you just...
Not a smart decision by Chris Howard there, Tim.
Not good.
As soon as he touched the ball, he was laid out by Jenkins, and that's our 3rd turnover of the night. Can't do that. And I was also going to say it was good discipline by one of our defensive linemen who's trying to block the punt. He realized he can't get there, and he checked up, and avoided roughing the passer. So that was nice to see. So you see Gary Cutrell, our team photographer on the sideline, but not a good play for a senior. You can't have your seniors make mistakes like that.
So in essence, it results in about a 50-yard play for the Eagles as Starks drops back and gets hit again. Boy, he is under serious duress back there.
Boy, Summerall gets that sack. As Lord is telling you that he is hungry and wants some food.
Interesting celebration. They had to reset and do it the right way there.
Gotta have a little fun when you make a big play.
Just don't sprain an ankle doing it. Sloan also in on that play. He's been all around the ball tonight. Under 5 minutes here. Defense keeping things on the right side for the Knots. Has some miscues. If you're a team that wants to go deep in the playoff, got to clean a few of those things up. Starks drops back, looking deep. Throwing over the middle. Tipped.
Intercepted.
Sloan! The man all around tonight. What a game.
PJ Sloan with the trifecta of defensive big plays tonight. A sack, a fumble recovery, and now an interception off of the tip. Great job, PJ, the senior linebacker. There again, he's got the turnover chain on again.
I hope he holds it longer this time. So the Knots.
He is well on his way to getting status as the defensive player of the game, as well as the pleasure of being the post-game interview by one Savannah Collins.
Doing it all. Bowman gets his shirt grab from the back, holds onto the ball though, breaks the 40-yard line.
That's the second play tonight where they've kind of grabbed Bowman from the back on his jersey and
sometimes
kept a medium-sized
gain
gain from being a big gain.
We saw that in the last few weeks as well. A player saving a touchdown by grabbing Bowman's jersey. Still 4-yard positive gain, 2nd down 6. Howard out to the far side. West comes in. Zipper has yet to really get a reception tonight. kind of kept things nearer to the ground. There is a flag on the play. It's more of a red
I think it's
hanky.
Offsides against Jenkins. So Lakeland will get 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 1 now.
Brings up 2nd down and 1.
Opens up the playbook. Gives you maybe a free shot downfield. Plenty of time, 3:44. Coach Castle likes going for those kill shots, as Jeff Goddard said.
2nd and half a yard. Why not?
Nope, going for Bowman.
Of course, anytime Bowman touches the ball, that could be a kill shot.
Could be. Was on the last series, 87-yarder. Picks up the first down.
Play gain 5 yards. It results in a Dreadnoughts first down.
Can't say enough about the defense. Has bailed us out 2 or 3 times this evening so far. Don't want to count on that all the time, but the defense has done extremely well, putting pressure on Starks and company as Bowman left side picks up a few.
DeMarcus Bowman on the carry.
Gets about 3 or 4 yards on first down. Actually, only 2. I thought he had at least 3, but 2 yards. So 2nd and 8. Although it's really, he got 2.5. But we'll just have to give him credit for 2, 2nd and 8. So you see the ball there is in between the 28 and 27 yard line. Actually, the line of gain is about the 20.5. So I'm actually going to call that a 3-yard gain. We're going to call that a 2nd and 7 now.
High formation. Finley Graham gets the call straight up the middle. Runs into a bunch of Eagles. No real opportunity other than to drag the pile and fall forward there.
Finley Graham is not obviously very big, what you think of in terms of being a fullback. But on that quick hitter, if that hole's open and he can get through there, he's going to be gone. But he's probably not going to break a tackle necessarily, but if they can get it blocked well, he can take it to the house very quickly.
3rd and 5, high formation, strong eye. Fakes the handoff and tries to pitch it over to Bowman, and another turnover.
Another turnover, the 4th of the game, first half for Lake on the night. Lakeland's up 15-0. If we could convert an extra point, we'll be 17-0, and then if you limit turnovers, we could easily be up 24-0 right now, easily.
We've reached
not 31.
The hat off point for Coach Castle as the hat came off the head. He threw it up in the air and made a nice catch, but that's when you know he's fairly exasperated.
Was it the golden sombrero he took off his head? I think we were up to the golden sombrero.
Didn't throw it down. He threw it up in the air. And
of turnovers.
You don't want the hat trick when it comes to turnovers. Now we've surpassed the hat trick, going for more than 3.
Want to give a shout out to my family watching the game tonight. My nephew and niece, Eli and Eden, are in town. Eden has a birthday this month. It's kind of an early birthday celebration. They're watching tonight at my parents' house. So hi to Eli, Eden, my mom and dad, Jason, and Uncle Dick and Aunt Di, and Kevin, and Robbie. I think they're all watching the game. As you saw, a short gain by the Eagles there.
PJ again on the tackle.
So no brothers here tonight to give us extra commentary up here. The peanut gallery, They're all back home watching the game.
I'd like to say hi to my family as well as oldest daughter Olivia, turning 18 tomorrow. Happy birthday, Olivia. They grow up fast. 2nd down, 10. On the stop from the Dreadnought defense. Starks out of the game. Wallace flips it over to Mobley. Whoa,
Ooh, what a
boom
hit.
shot. Number 4 just cracked.
Cadell Hall. We'll call that a Q shot.
Can I say this, the S word, the slobber knocker?
I think you can.
Break it out. That was a slobber knocker. We heard the pads go pop up here in the press box. Even a few people watching up here said, ooh, that was good. That's good for the soul if you like defense.
No doubt.
Good clean hit. No one gets injured. Pads do their job. And a 3rd and 9 resulting. Really Mobley all they got right now with Wallace in there. Haven't seen him try to pass the ball yet.
He's tried once or twice, but he's gotten sacked.
He's attempted it, not completed it. Delay of game, Eagles. That'll not help their cause. Princesses of Precision, the Anchorettes coming here lining up, which means we're close to the end of the first half with 18 seconds left.
And remember, Lakeland gets the ball to start the second half, so they can hold him here, which they showed 18 seconds to go. They'll get the ball to start the second half with a 15-point lead. So coming up is the Harry Seafood Halftime Show. Tim, I think you're going to handle the interview duties tonight.
Mobley, left side, nothing there. Clock ticking. See if they'll stop the.
Timeout, Dreadnoughts.
Lakeland with a timeout, is they're going to want to maybe force Jenkins to punt?
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, interviews, and running a business.
So it's third and 14 with only 11 seconds to go. So
we'll go ahead and take it. Oh, well, we'll keep it here. We were gonna send it to commercial, but with only 11 seconds left, we'll go ahead and keep it.
I'm not sure if. I mean, Lakeland, I guess if they stop him at third down, might call another timeout and force a punt and sell out and try to block it and see what happens.
Tonight's game sponsor, Staff Builders HR, and that's who we will be talking with at halftime. Couldn't do it without all our sponsors, that's for sure. Get to know a little bit more about them and what they do.
See the Wealth Solutions of Central Florida up on the
That's beautiful.
score graphic tonight. You know anything about Wealth Solutions of Central Florida, Tim?
A little something. We are just honored to help the community really just, again, handle whatever God's resources, whatever they have, help make wise choices with the finances, personal finance. We do a lot of education.
So this is actually fourth down right here. They're punting.
Fourth down. Ooh, that just quickie out of bounds. Five ticks left. You could almost go for something here, Jeff Goddard.
Yeah, I mean, you could kick a long field goal or you could throw in the end zone.
That was probably not what Jenkins wanted to do there.
No, I mean, so obviously you'd like to get in a block, but it was such a short punt. Calling that timeout, paying big dividends. I mean, it'd be a 51-yarder. I don't really think you'd kick that. If you had about 5 more seconds, you could try to complete a 10-yard pass and get field goal range. But realistically, with 5 seconds, I don't think you can do that. So I think you just throw in the end zone and see what happens.
Why not? You got weapons out there all around. Unleash them. 3 wide receivers to the near side. McWilliams drops back, looking in that direction, looking, getting some pressure. Now he's looking at running. It flips it over, and it's going to be tipped. And, they got 2 receivers. Got West and Graham got tangled up. If not, Finley Graham could have got the rebound.
That was a good play. I mean, he scrambled, saw a guy open, just couldn't quite get it high enough to get it over the Jenkins defender's arm. But there are flags on the play, so this is against Jenkins. When the flags are downfield, it very well might be against Jenkins. Lakeland might get another playoff here. Although George Jenkins must feel like it's against Lakeland.
It is against Lakeland.
So they'll decline it. So that will be the last play.
Holding against the Dreadnoughts, which is declined.
Of the first half. So Lakeland up 15-0 at half. You kind of feel like if you're a Lakeland fan, it could be more. It should be up by more because the defense has certainly dominated the game, forced 2 turnovers. But the Dreadnought offense, unfortunately, has had 4 fumbles, and that's kind of kept the score.
Let's go ahead and take a commercial, and we'll be back with the halftime show and maybe the Anchorettes if we get the end of them. We'll be right back after this quick message.
High school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different, and we prove it.
This is what you expect.
Well, don't worry. The whole family's going to like this. It's not going to be here tomorrow, I'll tell you that much. Hey, don't worry about that. We'll fix it. We're going to handle everything.
And this is a different experience.
Welcome to Regal.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for one person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Whether they're adjusters or nurse case managers, let's be clear. They're still agents for an insurance company. You have rights when you're injured on the job. This includes your right to privacy with your doctor. Don't allow insurance agents to hijack your medical exams. You don't know if they're manipulating your doctor's recommendations, which can harm your case and put you at a disadvantage. Protect yourself and your family. Call us and stand up for your legal rights. Smith, Fedler & Smith. Justice for all.
Up here in the press box for the halftime show with me is one Rick Mariucci. Rick, thanks for joining me.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
We cannot do it, Rick, without our game sponsors. And Staff Builders HR stepped up big time and is a game sponsor tonight. And just gives us an opportunity to briefly talk to the public and our viewers on a little bit about what you guys do in the community. And then really more just to thank you guys for being such a great sponsor tonight. So tell us a little bit about the Staff Builders HR and what you all do.
Well, first of all, it's just want to say it's an honor to be a sponsor for Lakeland High School and the football team. You know, great tradition here. They've been around a long time. Coach Castle's been here forever, and it's just an honor to be a sponsor.
Well, great. And we know that you have actually some ties to Dreadnought football. I know the owner and actually some family that you've married into are big Dreadnought fans. Tell us a little bit about them.
Yes, so our owner is part of the Norman family here, and I'm married into the McKeel family, so I'm married to Maggie.
Yeah, okay.
And so the McKeels,
big name
Peggy
around
McKeel,
these parts, yeah.
Yep, Seth's my brother-in-law. He's a great man.
Very good, very good. And you mentioned to me just briefly that y'all have actually several locations, so not just here in Lakeland. Tell us a little bit about, I think you have a couple locations?
Yeah, we do. We're located here in Lakeland. We're located in Tampa, and we actually have an office in Atlanta as well.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Okay, and so you, I think, manage this area?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And so for those, obviously, we see HR, Staff Builders HR, but if we were to say, hey, what is just Staff Builders, someone were to come to you and what you're really good at, tell us a little bit about what you guys just excel in.
So we're a staffing company. We basically find people jobs. You know, if you're a company, we go out and recruit and try and find you great candidates. Mm-hmm. We can staff anything from just a day labor, general labor, all the way up to we've staffed engineers, controllers.
Oh, wow.
And so we can do anything in the middle.
That it actually played a big part in my life when I was in between jobs after college, just briefly, having to earn some money right out of the gate before you found what you wanted to do. I went to an organization like yours and really helped me. So for anyone, you just heard Rick mention that, you don't have to be looking for an engineering job or particularly something. If you just need help finding some employment, they can set you in the right direction. They have all the contacts to do that, and that's what they're geared up to do. So
we enjoy it. We try and tell everybody, use us as a source. Go out and try and find a job yourself, but use us as a source. Let us try and help you.
Yeah.
And we use our technology to for our clients, we use our technology to go out and try and recruit the best candidate for them.
I always tell people too, with any profession, when you look to professional, that's what you gain a lot of that extra resource. Like if you're buying a house or selling a house, you could do it by yourself, but the ability to have someone that really knows the field and knows the business, has the contacts, can certainly help you. And I know that's what you guys represent, is just the ability to want to help someone find that right position for them, at least at that time.
Yes.
And so, we can't, again, thank you enough. We can't run this show without the sponsors and of course, all the big board and all the things that we do here. So it's critical. So we thank you as the family. And pretty good game tonight. What are your thoughts? I don't know if you're a big football fan, but what are your thoughts about seeing this Dreadnought game?
Yeah, I love football. That was a great run by Bowman.
It was worth the price of admission right there,
yes,
wasn't it?
It was. They're playing good. It seemed like it took about 20 minutes to get from the 7-minute mark to the 5-minute mark.
I agree with you. Sometimes we have those
like
lags.
Kept stopping. So.
And, the Dreadnoughts have one of those seasons brewing. If we get a victory tonight, that'll be 7-0. And so excitement starts to build a little bit for what that second season of the playoffs might look like. And that, of course, gives us more opportunities to have more games here at Bryant Stadium, which we truly enjoy. But we are super glad that you're here, and we hope that you continue to watch and support Dreadnought football. And, and we thank you. Any final words? Or?
No, just, like I said, we're excited to be a sponsor. We're excited to be here for this, the homecoming game.
Yeah.
Against George Jenkins.
A little bit of extended halftime here.
That's right. And, always remember that, Staff Builders is, trying to place great people with great companies.
And how can folks get a hold of you? Do you have a website here locally? Or?
Yes. We do have a website. It's staffbuildershr.com.
Okay.
And our office is located on South Florida, right there at the corner of South Florida and Edgewood.
Okay, fantastic.
We have a big sign there, and you can come in and sit down with us, and if you just want to chat with us about about the economy and what the job situation is looking like out there, or if you're trying to find a job, we'll help you.
Yeah, and I would say just knowing economics, they probably have the pulse on the reality of what's going on in the job market too, and what types of jobs are going to be hot. And so even, again, just using them as a resource, I think Rick and his folks would do a fantastic job for you. So we thank them for being the game sponsor tonight. So Rick Mariucci and Staff Builders HR, thank you so much for joining us up here in the press box.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate the interview and the time, and thanks again for the sponsorship.
Yep,
so,
appreciate it.
Very good. So we will, of course, as you see, homecoming in the background, and the candidates marching out on the 50-yard line. And we'll enjoy a little bit of the homecoming festivities and then take a break and be back with you with second half action. So stay with us, folks, and enjoy the rest of the webcast.
Khalil Crawford. Lauren Jones and Jay Posen from FFA. Representing ROTC, Adeline Coops and Robert Thompson. RTX, Gabriella Thomas and Trey Leach. Cavalry Martin and James Garrett. Lonnie Raven and Will Kraus. And Luke Anderson from the and from Student Council, Kristen Patterson and Cameron Johnson. And now, the announcement we've all been waiting for. The second runner-up for Homecoming King is Khalil Crawford, sponsored by football. The second runner-up for Homecoming Queen is Julia Norman, sponsored by football. The first runner-up for Homecoming King is Jahari Martin, sponsored by charity. The first runner-up for Homecoming Queen is Celeste Hardy, sponsored by charity. And now, the 2018 Lakeland High School Homecoming King. Robert Thompson, and your 2018 Homecoming Queen is Adeline Coops, sponsored by ROTC. Congratulations to all of the candidates. The LHS Student Council wishes to thank Principal Art Martinez, administration, JROTC, teachers, and all staff members who worked so hard to make this year's homecoming a success. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, please give all of our candidates a round of applause.
We also have people talk about their dream baby. This way they can raise a family or start one.
High school juniors and seniors. Submit your A's and B's to Bartow Ford for your chance to win a new Mustang. Visit DriveFordExcellence.com for official rules. The 25th annual Drive for Excellence with Bartow Ford. We're different and we prove it.
Have we heard from a group of Carrie Williams Realty? We also hear people talk about their dream baby, so they can raise a family or start one. A place to celebrate the happy moments and a refuge for the challenging times.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Few law firms can pinpoint an exact moment that inspired its founding purpose. For Smith, Fedler, and Smith, it was 1942 when H. Guy Smith's uncle was paralyzed after a fall in a sawmill. He died 14 months later, leaving behind a family in need. The loss inspired Smith to found his law firm to fight for the rights of workers, the injured, and their families. To this day, Smith, Fedler, and Smith remains committed to his mission. Smith, Fedler, and Smith.
With a round of applause, please congratulate.
Welcome back to Bryant Stadium at the end of the halftime show. Lakeland leading 15-0, and the end of the homecoming activities. There's some good-looking kids, nice smiles, dressed well, having a good time representing the student body. Friday night football, George Jenkins, Lakeland Dreadnoughts. Nice little interview with Rick Mariucci from Staff Builders HR, who's one of the managers here in the Lakeland location. Thanks to them again for stepping up. Quick warm-ups going on. The bands normally play at halftime. Both Jenkins and the Dreadnoughts with outstanding programs. They will be performing right after the game. So it'll be interesting to do some sideline or halftime, rather post-game interviews. But Savannah's a pro. She'll figure it out. We talked about the swim team coming home with the city championships, but the girls volleyball team at Lakeland High School is having a fantastic year. 13-1, I was reminded, is their record. They have their last game, I believe, this coming Thursday against George Jenkins, who notoriously is a powerhouse in girls volleyball. So If you like volleyball, that would be a fantastic game to come see Thursday night at 7 o'clock. The Dreadnought volleyball team, the women, against George Jenkins. Right here, we got some more pigskin to contend with here in the second half. With that, for the rest of the halftime festivities, let's kick it down to Savannah.
Thanks, guys. I'm joined by Coach Harbin. Coach, obviously not as explosive of a first half as you would have liked to have seen out of your running backs. What are some adjustments you're hoping to make in the second half of the game?
Biggest thing is just not beat ourselves. Secure the football and run hard. And we've made so many mistakes on offense so far, turning the ball over. And that's not typical of what we've done all year. But we got to fix that, and that's what we went back to, get back to basics and trying to finish the play and then finish our drives.
You mentioned not really being yourselves. Do you attribute that to nerves, the big crowd tonight, or maybe just getting a little too ahead of ourselves?
I'm not sure what's going on with these guys. You never know with these high school kids, but one thing's sure, we're going to regroup and we're going to come out in the third quarter and get Dreadnought football going.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Savannah. Just football awareness. I'm telling you, it's not just the ability to grab a person and talk and ask a few questions. It's really being aware of what's going on during the game. And that's what I think a good sideline reporter does so well, and Savannah does excellently, is gets kind of the flow of the game, what the feeling is, what the coaches are doing, good, bad, how they're interacting with the kids, and then asking the poignant questions to bring that out of the coaches so that you get an insight different from what you normally might see just watching the game. So can't say enough about the job that she's doing here tonight. We're lucky to have her on homecoming night. As the Dreadnoughts, of course, will get the ball in the second half as they won the coin toss and deferred. So we will get to be first on offense to try to add some more to the current 15-0 lead we enjoy. See the homecoming queen there, the homecoming king, with their hardware that they get to take home tonight as we're back under action. Pooch lob, as we affectionately call it, caught at the 34-yard line. Zipper, who's not a stranger to running the ball.
Zipper on the kickoff return.
Some after extracurricular activities on both sides, and we'll see who gets flagged on that.
Have you noticed, Tim, that some referees have the traditional yellow flags tonight, and some referees have the pink flag for breast cancer awareness.
Yellow material. So there you go.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's. Usually they all have the same. They're not really coordinated. That one ref who's thrown so many, I think he under the mistaken impression that for every time he throws his pink flag, there's like a $100 donation is made to breast cancer research. He's trying to get as much money done as possible.
Quick shout out to the Cooper family again, watching from Raleigh, North Carolina. They love to turn into Friday Night Live football and the webcast, so hello to Stephen and the whole Cooper family. Some interesting comments. Of course, the Lakeland Dreadnoughts enjoying a 15-0 lead. But as Savannah kind of asked Coach Harbin, hey, what's, a couple good runs, but maybe not what you're expecting as offsetting penalties is kind of what we thought. Dreadnought will continue march
Coach
forward.
Harbin say?
Basically just he's not sure sometimes what goes on with the high school kids and the minds of the high school kids. So Savannah asked, is it the crowd? Is it the big game atmosphere, homecoming? And he said, he's not real sure, but they just don't quite have their heads screwed on straight tonight, and making some mistakes is the nice fake that time by McWilliams, who was getting some good yards after being hit. Hard running.
Forward progress should be a first down. We'll see where they spot the ball. This is the best he's run the ball all year. He looks healthy. He looks totally healthy.
Yeah. You don't have to get 50 yards when you're a quarterback, but those 8-10-yard chunks are great, yeah.
But we do. I still feel we got to get him more in a rhythm passing the ball. We need to get him.
Well, that was one of the other comments that we got here on my text that I got.
Against some harder teams that we're going to face, late in the year in the playoffs, hopefully You got to be able to move the ball both on the ground with Bowman, but also through the air.
Comment was, who knows what we'll face in the playoffs. I'd like to see a little more passing in the second half. Amen to that. McWilliams in Eagle territory. There you go. Out to Zipper. Man-to-man coverage. Gets tackled. Nice tackle on the open field by number 6, who is the
Jenkins
backup
has not
quarterback,
missed very many
Wallace.
tackles tonight.
No, very disciplined.
A sure
Jeff.
tackling team.
Very disciplined team.
I was talking with my Uncle David at halftime, and he was kind of saying the same thing, that the guys just look to be a little, almost like sleepwalking, like kind of like last week almost a little bit. I mean, obviously they ended up beating Bartow by 50-something points. But, obviously Bartow's not a very good team, but Jenkins is a pretty good team, and only at 15. Obviously, without the turnovers, you could be up more, but they just aren't quite as sharp, or haven't been quite as sharp the last couple of weeks as they were earlier in the year.
Missed extra points.
Yeah, that too.
Turnovers. McWilliams, nice pitch
Wow.
to Bowman late. Bowman
That's a
outside.
holding.
There is a holding at the 32. You're exactly right.
This thing could be on Chris Howard. He got his money's worth. He had both hands.
He did.
Holding the jersey of the Jenkins defender there, no doubt about it. We could see that really well from up here because it was on our side of the field.
Negate quite the interesting play. I love that option.
Yeah, that's the first time you
Dangerous
see it.
at
Very
times.
dangerous pitches. He was under heavy duress when he made that pitch.
But Bowman was trailing just perfectly and was able to pitch the ball. Holding.
So there's two different holding calls. They're going to decline the second one because it was farther downfield, and instead Jenkins will take the first one, which was obviously a smart move by them. So the ball can come all the way back to the Lakeland 46-yard line.
I was holding against half the team. Of course, taking the one that's most advantageous for the Eagles, putting us back in a second down and 20.
And they're not quite 20.
No, 18. Yeah, you're right, 18 or so.
He's got to get to the 36-yard line, and right now he's on the 46. So 18, we'll call it, yeah. Second and 18.
So nice idea on that last play with the pitch to Bowman. Another penalty. Lakeland.
Flag on the play. Delay of game
Delay.
against the Dreadnoughts.
And the ref reprimanding both teams in the middle there, saying,
Brings up second down and
I don't know what he's saying, but it looked like he was saying, stop whatever you're doing. Stop the language or something, whatever you're doing, or you're going to get.
I think that's the first delay of game against Lakeland tonight, but Jenkins already had like 3 or something. And a highly unusual amount of delay of games.
Jenkins just staying close enough in this game, Jeff. Only 15 points, 2-score ball game still as McWilliams fake handoff rolls out. Option. Looking, no room. Has got lots of blockers this way if he can elude that one tackler, but he doesn't. 33 got him. That was a big.
Demaria Johnson, the sophomore linebacker.
That was a big tackle by Johnson as
He
coming
had
to the
Chris
side.
Howard open.
Yeah.
Even before he turned back around, before he turned direction back towards the Lakeland sideline.
penalty was illegal motion.
Illegal motion against
which was
Lakeland will be declined by Jenkins. It's going to be 3rd and 23. For those of you baseball fans out there, I just noticed checking my phone at halftime. Boston's up, I think 4 or 5-0. I think it's 5-0 against the Yankees, and Lakeland alum Chris Sale pitching well. Hasn't allowed any runs yet for the Red Sox.
Quick pass, Howard. Dances, what a beautiful move by Howard at the 45. He's not going to get near the first down marker, but picks up back to midfield.
Tackled by Cam Coleman.
Should allow you to flip the field position-wise. A good punt and get the ball inside the 20-yard line.
Eagles playing a bit of prevent there, but still.
Brings up 4th down and 14.
Excellent moves by Howard in the middle of that run.
Makes you wonder with homecoming tonight, Tim, if the team not totally focused with all the extra homecoming festivities going on, but with a big city rival like Jenkins as your opponent tonight, you wouldn't think that would be the case.
Hard to say. Let's see what Jace does punting the ball tonight. If he gets a good snap, beautiful snap right where you need it, and miscue there by Jace. A little bit of a sidewinder. not a big net gain.
15-yard punt.
Jace Hohenthaler's punt is down at the 35-yard line, where the Eagles will take over.
Not happy with himself at all.
10. Tonight's sponsor of the game is Staff Builders HR, your HR business partner. Thank you for your constant and
So we will not be getting the ball inside the 20-yard line.
Like I said, defense played extremely well, obviously, not letting any points and overcoming the turnovers, but this game is far from over. Wallace is in the game. Mobley is very talented, though, can break one at any time. This time, it's not going to happen. Left side of the line.
Mobley on the carry.
The right side of the defensive line just collapses on him. Martin with the tackle.
Play gained a yard, brings up 2nd down and 9.
Surely as we go through the season, Dreadnought D turning out to be one of the best defenses in the state. As number 11 kind of falls down with it. Floyd Summerall with a
big-time defensive end for Lakeland.
Bit of an ankle twister.
That's not
there.
good. So a pretty good game tonight. Very active on the defensive line. There might be a cramp the way they're stretching him out there.
Yeah, number 23 for the Knots, A.J. Thomas, just kind of said, I think it's just a cramp.
Pretty good lip reader there, Tim.
Let's go ahead and take it to commercial on this quick injury timeout here at Lakeland. Bryant Stadium. Dreadnoughts lead 15-0. We'll be right back.
Bartow Ford is proud to announce that we've won the President's Award for the 19th time. You would need to leave the state of Florida to find a dealer that's won it more. Sales volume and customer satisfaction is how you win. And let's face it, you wouldn't sell a lot of vehicles if you didn't offer the lowest price around and take care of customers the very best. But why don't I have them up on the wall? Because a long time ago, my father taught me that our people are what make the difference. Other dealerships, they can have their gimmicks and games. We'll take people that care. Bartow Ford, we're different, and we prove it.
Back at Bryant Stadium, Lloyd Summerall popped up and walked off under his own power. Good sign there. Under 8 minutes now in the third quarter. Eagles still trying to make something happen. Wallace hands off to number 15, who gets crunched. Bam! Number 19, Jahari Martin all over that.
With the stuff.
15 on the carry, tackled by Jahari Martin.
Haven't called number 15 much. That's because he's not on the roster for Jenkins, but that's who got the ball.
No gain on the play.
On the left side, no gain. 3rd and 9 still. Dreadnought defense continuing to apply pressure to the offense.
So not only is Dreadnought Cressell pitching for the Red Sox tonight, Tim, Dreadnought Steve Pierce has an RBI single and scored a run for Boston as well.
Wow.
So the Lakeland connection starring for Boston tonight.
Wallace tried to keep it himself. Very difficult task to pick up that first down.
Wallace on the keeper.
Maybe a yard, 4th down, and still, I'd say 7.
Play game 3 yards. Brings up 4th down and 6.
They gave him an extra yard, 4th and 6, but still punting situation. Let's see if Finley Graham and Howard can get some communication back there, Jeff. They've both kind of been looking at each other like, you take it, no, you take it, and then by the time they decide, it's a bad choice to take it. So let's see if it's maybe they've gotten instruction just to let it go, or they still get the opportunity to...
It's just a 2-possession game,
I know.
Tim, at 15-0, but with starting quarterback Tyreek Starks out for Jenkins, it feels like it's about a 35-point lead right now.
And it could be. As a bad snap, the punter is going to just try to get on it, but he doesn't. And the Dreadnoughts recover down inside the 10-yard line on the muffed snap for the Eagles. So the Dreadnoughts will have the ball right there inside the 10.
Covered by number 32 of Lakeland, Diamante Johnson.
What? That wasn't P.J. Sloan?
Yeah, finally somebody else with a turnover.
First down and goal from the Eagles' 8-yard line.
1st and goal from the 8-yard line.
Dreadnoughts are in business, as you see the student section there.
Business.
A homecoming night.
As we said, the
Was it just me, Tim, or did Khalil Crawford not look very happy to get the second runner-up for the homecoming
He's
game?
like, man, missed it by that much. No, I'm sure he's happy.
Yeah, with Starks out, I just don't think Jenkins can do anything on offense. I think you're going to see a bunch of 3-and-outs the rest of this game.
Jalen Taylor, the 12th grade defensive back, limping off. Might be a cramp as well.
He had a nice game last week. As a matter of fact, that's who I interviewed after the game. He had the interception, and he also, we know, has a homecoming date.
Yes.
Because he asked the cheerleader.
He has a date to home. Well, I don't know. He might not be dancing the same jig now with that injury. I don't know.
He might just have to sit down over by the punch bowl and, kick it.
Got to get that leg healed up.
He's going to have to get a work time by the trainer so he can dance tomorrow night.
Let's give the Gators a warm welcome.
Pretty good crowd at the game tonight, Tim. Jenkins ended up with a pretty good crowd over
there.
Yeah,
they did. They filled in, as we thought.
On Lakeland High School's campus this Monday night at 7 p.m. for the Dreadnought Highlight Report with Coach Bill Castle. In addition to meeting various players and position
Talking about the Dreadnought Highlight Report again with Coach Castle here on Monday night, 7 o'clock in the locker room.
Next week's opponent.
He does, of course, highlight the past Friday night's game, but also breaks down the next opponent. That little glimpse inside the
little windy tonight, Tim.
Very interesting mind of Coach Castle. It is a little windy. Papers just went flying there. But I'd much rather have that than stillness and 99% humidity. So the Dreadnoughts with a fantastic opportunity on the muffed snap. Bowman, quick work, touchdown, Debo.
His third touchdown of the night.
He needs one more to keep his
of the season.
Wow.
One more and he'll get it up to a 3 per game average. Just a phenomenal junior season by number 3, DeMarcus Bowman. I'm talking to Michael David at halftime. He was also saying the same thing. It looked like Bowman just kicked it into an extra gear on that 87-yard run. He goes, a gear I don't think we've seen yet this year. I said, you might be right. He was not going to be stopped there. He was just kicked into overdrive, and it was all she wrote.
Rick Mariucci, again, from Staff Builders, watching the game, too. That was one of the first things he said, is like, that was just an incredible run, and that was one of those special runs that, as Jeff said, the determination outweighed everything. As, oh, my goodness, did he get it? Yeah,
they a little bit low, but he got it.
They had to look at each other again, but the extra point is good that time, 22-0. Your score here with 6:01.
You see DeMarcus Bowman eating pickles. That is a good electrolyte. It keeps you from getting cramps.
There you go. With some cramping going on, he said, nope, I want to stay in this game healthy. Let's take a quick timeout here with 6:01.
Lloyd some pickles too.
At 22-0. We'll be right back.
Finding qualified staff isn't easy. Sifting through resumes, verifying candidates, conducting interviews, and running a business? Who has time? You need Staff Builders HR. Whether you're looking for 1 person or 500, we don't use hope. We use science, evaluating data from more than 2.5 million resumes to find you the perfect employee. Staff Builders HR, the science of matching great people with great companies.
DeMarcus Bowman starting to kick it into gear here after a little bit of a sluggish first quarter and a half. Chomping those, but he's taking a whole jar of pickles down.
He might drink the juice too. I don't like pickles. I would have to just drink some Gatorade on the sideline.
Hohenthainer. Flags, whistles blowing, all kinds of stuff happening. I think offsides by the Knots. Interesting, Jeff. Both of us. Well, I came so later than normal. Obviously, I had to pay across the way here to park. Otherwise, it probably would have taken me another 10 minutes. I figured if you weren't here, you had to better get someone up there. So that's all right. So it's going to a good cause somewhere.
I have a reserve spot down here in front of the stadium. I become good friends with the guy, the parking lot guy, and he kind of saves me a spot right next to the stadium. Where do you normally park? In the hospital parking lot?
Just right here in the north end zone lot. They normally save me the spot right next to the fence, but it was taken. Kickoff, Hohenthainer at the 5-yard line. Returnable, Wallace. Changes fields and bad idea. Hog tail down at the 13. Look like when they do that calf
like
roping, you know, when they grab it and it goes right on the ankle and they just go flying down?
And that's like a coffin corner kick. You know, kick it, and where they have to catch it inside the 5 in the corner. Hard to beat that.
Looked like someone calf roped them.
Apparently, a person who does our graphics fell asleep because it still says 15-0 on the monitor here. Of course, the correct score is 22-0.
Hopefully that's not a
favor of Lakeland.
that big of a delay. So Wallace, we might have seen the last of Starks as Wallace does a nice little run there, nifty, but pays the price at the 19.
He got body slammed by number 30. Tayshawn Rodman.
He did. Gave him a little extra
Give him a
oomph
count.
on the way down.
1, 2, 3. This match is over.
Play game 6 yards, brings up 2nd down and 4.
A little extra shoulder flank. Go, Mr. Wallace. I'd like you to feel that in the morning, please. Clean hit, though. 2nd down 4. New quarterback, at least, for the handing off to number 4. Boy, what a wallop again. Helmets flying. Defense teeing it up right now.
Trey Leggett on the carry.
As you said, Jeff, it's just a 22-0 score, but miles away in terms of what Jenkins would have to do without their starting quarterback. That's really who they rely upon. And
if it was 7-0 right now, I'd feel probably just as confident as it is at 22-0.
They just are not doing anything right now. The Dreadnought defense is owning them. Boom, again. Mobley, their best running back on the keeper. Hampton brings them down. 4th down, loss of a yard.
Play lost 2 yards. Brings up 4th down and 6.
They'll punt the ball away on a 4th and 6. Wise to do so. And oh my, almost blocked again. This time Howard's going to let it go, but Finley wanted it. He saw it taking that hard hop, and they were losing yards. And
Chris is like, Finley, didn't you learn from my mistake?
Yeah.
Get away from that ball.
I know you want it. Up 22-0, just not wise to take that risk.
Cell phone turned into the press box. Again, a lost cell phone turned into the press box. The cell phone was found near the Lakeland High School band area. Again, if you lost your cell phone and you have
we'll have post-game interviews with Savannah Collins.
Please come up and claim your cell phone.
In the background will be the Dreadnought Marching Band and the George Jenkins Marching Band.
It actually almost feels like fall right now. A little breeze blowing.
Yeah, it's nice.
Much better than a couple weeks ago when it was horribly hot and humid here at Bryant Stadium. There you go. Touchdown number 4 for DeMarcus Bowman. He's logged on to the Gone Network.
See ya. I looked down at my phone. I have to admit, I looked down at my phone for a second, and you were shouting something good.
Just a great job of blocking there by the Dreadnought offensive line. Open up a hole right up the middle. He didn't have to make a cut or really display his good vision there. All he had to do is hit the hole hard, and he was gone. 59-yard touchdown jaunt from number 3, DeMarcus Bowman, the standout junior tailback for the Dreadnoughts.
his 4th touchdown of the night and his 21st on the season. And he's now over 1,100 yards on the year as well in just the 7th game. I mean, are you kidding me? Averaging 3 touchdowns.
Hit the left upright, but made it through.
Per game.
It's impressive.
He's a man amongst boys, Tim. I'm going to start calling him Lex Luger because he's the total package.
How much did that one? How much did that one? 59 yards?
Hit an 87-yarder and a 59-yarder. So just those two right there is 139 yards right there.
140 something.
Well, let's see. Yeah, it's 60.
148, right?
Was 87 and 60 would be 147.
47.
So 146. He's got to have, I'd say for the night, 180, 190, something like that. This time, Jace says, I'll kick in the end zone. Give my guys a little bit of break on the coverage team.
You know when you pass by a barbecue place and that smell just makes you lick your chops? That's what all the scouts are doing on Bowman right now.
Lakeland High School would like to thank our community sponsors.
As far they're loving.
They're modeling it up.
They realize they're on.
They're on the big board now. Now they're getting.
They realize they're on the TZ's best friend there.
Now they
now realize they're on the.
I was about to say they're getting shy, but no,
there.
they're not getting shy. That's fun. Never know when you're going to be up there in front of everyone.
Yeah. And who knows what Brent Musburger would have said if he was announcing the game.
Jersey Mike Subs and the LHS TSA Club for being tonight's press box sponsor. Go visit Jersey Mike's on North.
We got so late here, we didn't get a Jersey Mike sub. A wrap.
Yeah, no subs for us.
We missed it.
The sub with the difference,
Also,
Jersey
special
Mike's.
thanks to Antia of Hollywood Cafe. Take your Dreadnought game tickets to Hollywood Cafe, and you get a free appetizer or
Yeah, that flag, American flag, blowing nicely
Monday through Saturday.
east to west in the north end zone.
Hollywood Cafe is on Winter Lake Road across the street from Travis Technical School. A set of keys was just turned into the press box if you've lost your keys. They were lost in
As usual, week to week, a lot going on in the news. That terrible tsunami
please come and claim your keys.
affecting so many people still.
The LHS Century Club boosters would like to thank
An earthquake-induced
tsunami. And vision. Please contact
If you guys, anybody's out in the Lakeland area watching the broadcast tonight, if you own a business and are interested in sponsoring a game or getting your commercial up on the Jumbotron or on the webcast there, we'd love to get you signed up and become part of the Dreadnought family.
Our hopes, Jeff, is that we'll have some good playoff games here at home and some good opportunities for sponsorship.
Yeah, we definitely need sponsors for the playoff games for sure, because we do have to pay a fee to the FHSAA. So if you're interested in sponsoring a playoff game or even the last regular season game in 2 weeks, please email me at Jeff, that's Jeff, at lakelandfootball.com.
And you too can have that halftime interview.
That's right. The most coveted interview in all of Polk County.
Wallace gets tripped up. Nice job. Oh, my. And there's a flag. Late hit.
Jason Hampton made the tackle originally.
Unfortunately.
Jason Hampton. Penalty is a personal foul against the Dreadnoughts.
Not necessary. Already down, and the player came in there just a tad late.
In other area action.
Well, we got some other scores for you here in the third quarter. Lake Wales 14, Winter Haven 14. Tie ball game, Lake Wales and Winter Haven. Of course, next week, Jeff, Winter Haven Blue Devils, right?
At Winter Haven. It should be a good game at one. Lakeland should really, honestly, if they play well and focus, kind of unlike they have been the last couple of weeks, especially tonight, they should have no problem. But, it's on the road, and it's a district game, so everyone will certainly be ready to give Lakeland their best shot. You can pretty much count on that.
Dreadnought defense set. Wallace 4 yards deep. Good snap. Looks to fire it over immediately and just out throws the receiver, number 81, over on the far sideline.
Intended for Trey Doster.
Trey Doster, the intended receiver.
It's actually really a shame that Tyreek Starks got hurt. You hate to see a kid get hurt, but then also it's a shame because with him in the game, at least it allowed George Jenkins to be competitive and have a chance on offense, but now they realistically don't have a chance to move the ball. I was talking with Dale Dreyer from Center State Bank at halftime, and he was making the same observation we made, Tim, that he probably really aggravated the injury on that last play he was in the game where he tried to throw the ball instead of just going down. If he had just gone down, he may not have gotten hurt so bad.
Handoff number 4, caught behind the line. Hampton again.
Jason Hampton perhaps having his best game of the year from his linebacker position and on quite a few tackles tonight.
Play lost 3 yards,
including 2 on this drive.
That was a speedy move to the ball carrier by Hampton, resulting in that 3-yard loss.
We'll still have, obviously, DeMarcus Bowman back next year, but a lot of this front 7 on defense will be, graduating, so we'll have to replace a lot of that next year. Third and long here for George Jenkins.
Rolling out, looking, getting pressure, loses the ball, picks it back up. Luckily, he didn't have a Dreadnought right in front of him, but 15.
Antonio Ware made the tackle for Lakeland. That ball kind of took a Sunday hop and bounced right back up to him.
It did, as you see on the replay, just whoop. Luckily got it there, and then Ware steps up to knock him out of bounds.
Great tackle there by Ware.
4th down and 12.
All right, guys, I want to see you get one of these receptions right back here. You've had plenty of opportunities, so either charge the ball and grab it, or just let it go from the get-go. Of course, we'd love to see them take it back. Zipper nearly had a shot at it. That's a line drive, so Howard can get it. Eludes the first tackler, second, and picks his way. Boy, I thought he was down, but he's still on his feet. Oh, cuts back and gets hammered at the 40.
Chris Howard on the punt return.
That's a pretty impressive 17 or so yard punt return.
Yeah.
Great individual effort there by Chris Howard, still making up for that muff punt earlier.
Didn't have a lot to work with, but made something out of nothing there.
And support your LHS marching band.
Speaking of Finley, there he is. You talking about recruiters while I go licking the chops about DeMarcus Bowman. I would definitely say it's safe to say that he can go anywhere he wants in the country.
West.
Scheme avoiding the pass is complete to Gadarian West.
Short gain on the wide receiver screen to Judarian West. He was not able to break that tackle.
Tackled by Nasir Bowers.
Once again, Jenkins has done a pretty good job of wrapping up Lakeland players. Of course, DeMarcus Bowman's been able to bust a couple of big touchdown runs, but those really weren't so much broken tackles. It's just well blocked and good moves by Bowman and good vision. Here's McWilliams under center. Yet another flag. I'm telling you, this ref on the left sideline here, he thinks he's getting either a bonus for throwing that pink flag or donations being made to breast cancer research, but he is throwing that flag non-stop tonight. There's Coach Baylor there. You see his head, as he's always next to Coach Castle, and the Dreadnoughts have the ball. Coach Harbin, too, there with the whistle around his neck. Our clock graphic is stuck at 2:54, but there's actually only 6 seconds to go in the third quarter. So this is probably going to be that last play was the last play of the third quarter. A good quarter if you're a Dreadnought fan. 2 DeMarcus Bowman touchdown runs. Your score after 3, Lakeland 29 and George Jenkins 0. We'll take a commercial break and come back with the fourth quarter on the Dreadnought Football Webcast.
Good times, and all the flavor of New Orleans at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill.
Want to thank one of our sponsors, Harry's Seafood Bar and Grills. You just saw the great commercial there with the jazz music.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct
We
your
really
attention to
appreciate
the press box.
their longtime sponsorship of the halftime show.
Loving memory of Thomas DeCesare.
Tonight, Tim conducted the halftime interview as part of the Harry's Seafood halftime show.
Good stuff if you're downtown, Munn Park. Need some good eats.
Always good food at Harry's.
Great
so if
place
you
to
want to
take
give
a
a
family.
special shout out to Manny Meza, the general manager there, good friend of mine.
Williams
And
looking to pass downfield. Nice throw. Oh, come on, Howard. Catch that ball. That was on him. That was one of the...
Howard said, my fault.
That was
fault.
the best pass of the night from McWilliams. On
You
the
gotta
run,
make that
just
catch.
fired it.
Gotta make that catch.
Just a drop ball. Not you can say much about that, but still a penalty. Actually, it might have been good he didn't catch it. Would have been brought back anyways.
But still, you want to see him catch it there.
Makes it a little less painful, but Jace practicing his drops on his punts. He was not happy with his last attempt. Hopefully he'll continue to get more kickoff attempts than punts here the remainder of the game with .11:50 to go. McWilliams. Oh,
That's got to be a late hit. Are you
Oh,
kidding me?
come
The ref wasn't
on.
looking. He was looking the other direction. He totally missed it.
yeah, that was a late
I
hit.
mean, sometimes you wonder, how do you not call this? Well, the referee turned his head the other direction. That's how you don't see it. That's a spear there. I mean,
Yeah, at least it was in the gut, though.
Yeah, but still.
If you can say anything good, it
you
was.
can't leave with your helmet.
Lost a yard.
Well, Dreadnoughts in a bit of a fix. 3rd and 25. But comfortably in the lead, 29-0, and Jenkins just not looking formidable at all on offense. So there's a flag. West, hook and ladder. West flipped it to Bowman, trailing. Love that idea. But another penalty on against the Knots.
One of my favorite plays in all of football, the hook and ladder.
I'm almost glad it, again, didn't work because of the penalty, but I love the call. First time we've seen that from the offense this year.
I don't know if you were watching the Monday Night Football game this past week, but Denver tried in the last play, 4th down, tried the hook and ladder, and they couldn't quite execute it. But if they had, I think he might have been able to score the winning touchdown, but they were not able to properly execute it. Speaking of Monday Night Football, Tim, have you had a chance to watch Patrick Mahomes play for the Chiefs this year?
I haven't, no.
He's the next star quarterback in the National Football League. Just phenomenal talent.
Timeout, Dreadnoughts.
Timeout, Lakeland.
Tonight's sponsor of the game is Staff Builders HR, your HR business partner. Thank you.
We have 10:35 left in the final quarter of play here at Bryant Stadium. The Dreadnoughts lead 29-0. Let's go ahead and take another timeout. I'll be right back with you here in a moment.
This one was found in the north end zone. Again, a key has been turned into the press box, found in the north end zone.
Ominous music there to go along with the Regal Lakeland truck advertisement. Powerful GMC truck. As Mick Williams has plenty of time and he decides to hold up and run the ball. He stays in bounds. Are you kidding me? Did he not go out of bounds?
No, that's not a. Oh. The ref called
it was a side.
legal block, but that was clean.
Yeah, it was a clean hit. I don't know how that was. That was not a block in the back, if that's what he's calling.
I mean, this is as good of a play as you'll ever see. It's phenomenal play by Ski McWilliams, and unfortunately, most of it was for naught as another flag thrown by the refs. I don't know if you have a replay of that or not, but as it happened live, it really seemed to me like it was a clean block, Tim Conti.
Tough to get exactly the body angles from where we were, but it looked like it was just a side nudge. He definitely wasn't turned all the way to his back.
Probably one of those situations where he probably shouldn't have hit him because I don't think he really needed to. I think McWilliams was already by him, but nonetheless, it looked clean to me.
Penalty brings up 3rd down and 25.
But McWilliams, he kind of faked George Jenkins. They thought he was either going out of bounds or already stepped out of bounds, and they just kind of stopped for a second. He was able to reverse field and get a big gain. That's Sports Center top 10
That would have
worthy
been a
right there.
fantastic highlight, top 10 highlight play for sure. But penalty nullifies it as McWilliams now going deep this time. Again, not quite enough arm, but caught. Brought down at the 12 and drops the 10. Is that a Zipper with a nice reception there? Keon using his height to get up. As you can see, McWilliams throws it high, and Zipper just kind of outleaps everybody. Keeps it in front of him and drops at the 10-yard line.
Probably the best pass completion of the year for Keon Zipper. A big pass play all the way down the field.
It's one way to pick up a 2nd and 25.
Yeah, no kidding. But that's what we need to see. We need to see Lakeland be able to convert or complete some passes downfield to be able to keep defenses honest and keep running lanes open for DeMarcus Bowman if they face tougher competition.
Bowman,
in the playoffs.
Could he get it? Yes.
Touchdown,
he's going to get it.
number 5. Wow. 22 for the year. He's over averaging 3 per game now.
Debo.
He's just a special talent, Tim.
You can say that. Very nice. Fun to watch.
For other Dreadnought fans watching the game, if you're a Gator fan, you sure would like to see him in orange and blue in 2 years. If you're a Seminole fan, you'd love to see him in garnet and gold in 2 years. You could pretty much make that sentence with any major college football program in America.
It's like watching Renoir paint. You just are getting to watch an artist on the field.
Another missed extra point.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it, but it is a missed extra point. Got to get that cleaned up in a hurry.
We've scored, if you tell somebody DeMarcus Bowman scored 5 touchdowns tonight, like, well, yeah, it's 35-0. Of course you did. But we also had a field goal and 3 missed extra points.
You're right. It's completely.
So we officially have a running clock now.
A field goal and 5 touchdowns by DeMarcus Bowman.
Do you see the Lakeland fans there enjoying another Dreadnought victory?
Took a little while, didn't it? Had a few missed that second quarter. We're kind of like, what's happening? Shows how much talent Lakeland has. Still not playing their best ball in the last few weeks. But every team has a few of those kind of hiccup games where they don't play their best.
But if your hiccup game is 57-0 or 35-0, it's a pretty small case of the hiccups, huh? Short case.
It goes away fast.
Dreadnought fans, please join us on October 18th for Senior Night as we honor our seniors.
So the next home game, October 18th here at Bryant Stadium, is senior night. It's always a fun time to have the parents and caretakers walk their students and athletes and cheerleaders across midfield. What would normally be one of the last home games, but hopefully again, Dreadnoughts keep winning.
Well, that is the last home game of the regular season.
Official home game, but counting the playoffs, we usually get a few more. Number 54 moved for the Eagles, but they did not call it. It's okay.
Leggett on the carry.
Leggett on the carry, no gain. Matter of fact, loses, and I hear horse cranking up with 6:35. Go Dreadnought band. Give it to me.
Tim's favorite part of the night, of Friday night lights here at Bryant Stadium.
One of those life's little pleasures. Hopefully you can hear it over the speakers. We need a camera right down there. Last game, I'm just going to go down there with the camera and the mic right in the middle of the band and boogie with them.
You should.
I'll bring you the sideline report from the middle of horse. Oh, missed snap. Number 4 is at quarterback. That ball's on the turf at the 2. Still down. Touchdown, Dreadnoughts.
Touchdown, Lakeland. Sean Smith with the fumble recovery and the touchdown for Lakeland. Does he get like the deluxe turnover chain for scoring off of a turnover?
Yeah. There he is, Sean Smith. 6'1", junior, 195-pound linebacker. Coming at you. Nice job. Oh, I like that. Number 4, Dre Leggett for right in the middle of horse, too. See, it even gets the Dreadnoughts pumped up on the field.
Where's the turnover chain? He hasn't gotten it yet. Come on, give him some love. Where's it at? Where's it at? As you see Sean right there, he's pointing at the camera. Diablo Devine, one of the linebacker coaches, former Dreadnought great back in the mid-90s.
Come on, Jace, get one through.
Yeah, come on. It looks like they're going to maybe find
it. Kick. Oh, that one looked better. There we go.
Right down Broadway.
That's how it's supposed to be done right there. 42-0 with 4:42 remaining in the ball game. They're running the clock, so we'll just stay here.
I feel like Sean Smith is getting the short end of the stick. He's not getting the turnover chain.
Olivia Marlowe.
Maybe because he's got to go on. He's on special teams, so he's getting ready to go on the kickoff coverage team. Maybe he'll get it after that kickoff.
Aha. Phelan Brown. Celeste Hardy. Kershawn Spates. Macy Lisinski. Ray Abden.
Well, they're stopped the clock, so
Henry.
the teams to get on the field, and they'll get it cranking again.
Martin, Adriana Mancini,
It's a lot of points the last 2 games.
Madeline Marlowe, McCray Clary,
My math's right.
and Kobe Butler.
I think we're at a Hunsky.
99.
Or 99, that's right, 57, sorry.
We're on the
I didn't do math right. 99.
doorstep of 100.
High school administration and
The precipice of 100 points.
We'll round up on the curve.
And you want me to invest my money with you? Come on, you got to get a math,
That's
man.
what calculators are for.
All right, there you go. Well said. Calculators are coming in handy, don't
Please
they?
be respectful of both schools' marching bands as they perform and prepare for NPAs. Friends and family are more than welcome to meet and visit with your student athletes off of the playing field.
Jay set the kick off, 40. Oh, nice. He's fired up there. It boots that one 5 yards deep.
We thank you for cooperating with the administration, athletic department, and Lakeland.
So the bands will be performing after the game.
Savannah's going to have to get
homecoming.
creative down there on the sideline with the bands bringing their gear and tussling around. She can do it. She's a master. She could march with the band at the same time and do an interview. I'm confident.
I'm sure she could.
Our good friend Keith Cornea just pointed out to us that as Dreadnought fans, we're a little bit spoiled when we're complaining about the guys looking flat, and it's combined 99-0 the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Very true statement, Keith.
Bowman's family down there taking some pictures with him on the sidelines, some selfies. They got the Bowman 3 shirts. They got to be excited about how their family members doing.
When I've been around him after the game, interviewing him down the field, he seems like a very nice young man.
He does.
T-Sean Rodman on the tackle.
His parents should be proud of him.
Play lost 2 yards, brings up second down.
Not only for his athletic exploits, but for the young man they've helped to raise.
Wallace came in and for Starks with an admirable effort, just not enough firepower there, Jeff. And
no, sir.
Didn't have the arm to back up the potential running, and just Dreadnought defense was able to tee off from the get-go on him. And no real threat to score points. On the turnover, they were sniffing at some with some penalties, but never really got into the red zone. But they have a whole 2 minutes and 30 seconds to try to turn that around. Direct snap. And decent run.
Looks like they're going to get first down there. But the clock keeps on running since it's a running clock, even though you got a first down.
Play gain 13 yards results in an Eagles first down.
Bands filtering out of the stands to take their position here after the game. Provide some post-game entertainment. As will one Miss Savannah Collins. I think she said that she lives down in South Florida area, but yeah, we'll pay for her gas to come up, and she wants to keep coming back for the remainder of the season. Some hopes.
Yeah, not too far. I think she lives over there around near where Vieira is at. The team he played in the playoffs a few years ago. Mm-hmm. That area down there. About 43 to go in the game here. Excuse me, a minute 08. Our clock on the webcast is off just a little bit. It's interesting, Tim.
Or 33 as your homecoming guy last week.
He got that cramp worked out.
Yeah, he's
ready.
He's not having a problem dancing.
He's in rare form.
Oh, now he's holding it. He's like, oh, cramp. He's cramping. He is. He danced the cramp right back. That's great. Oh, that's classic. Oh.
That's a slobber knocker.
That was a change direction kind of hit. I'm going this way, and now I'm going the other way.
Lakeland, even though they have all, pretty much all backups on the defense side, they still play very hard, a lot of passion, a lot of pride, because, of course, they don't want to be the people who lose a shutout, This is at least our third shutout of the year, if not fourth shutout. So it's another dominant performance turned in by the Dreadnought defense.
I always like to say these scores look good on the back of the T-shirt, when you see the 57-0, 42-0.
You got that right, Tim. So 6 seconds to go here in the ball game. It's the final few seconds tick off. Your final score, the Lakeland Dreadnoughts 42, the George Jenkins Eagles 0.
That'll do it.
The Dreadnoughts will take on the Winter Haven Blue Devils at Winter Haven High School.
At Winter Haven, the Blue Devils up next for the Dreadnoughts, mowing over people right now. 42-0, your final score. As they will all meet at midfield.
There's also still a lost key in the press box. And also in the fourth quarter, Lake Wales 20, Winter Haven 14.
Lake Wales ahead of Winter Haven now, 20-14 in the fourth quarter.
Will be performing following tonight's game, and that fans will not be permitted onto the field. Please be respectful of both bands and their performance.
So Winter Haven, I'm sure, was hoping to get a win tonight, have some momentum coming into next week as the host of Dreadnoughts, but it looks like they're about to go down to the Highlanders of Lake Wales. Little East Polk County rivalry over there.
Good sportsmanship being displayed right now.
But you see, just in case, a lot of the coaches are there right now making sure that things don't go awry.
Few officers just in case, but not necessary. There's one George Williams, team chaplain. Called both teams together, but right now they're going their separate ways. Maybe they're going to just.
Usually you see the teams huddle together, but
that's interesting.
Not tonight. They're not taking any chances.
The Jenkins cheerleaders came and congratulated a football player. That's an interesting little happening.
See Savannah Collins out there trying to get some interviews lined up. I'll be curious to see who she chooses. I would have chosen, I think, PJ Sloan had a heck of a game. Let's see who she chooses.
If that's what we're doing is giving out the players of the game, that's my definitely defensive player of the game. PJ Sloan, of course, with the interception, a sack,
of course,
several key tackles, and a fumble recovery.
Yeah, of course, you could interview DeMarcus Bowman after every game, and we have already interviewed him once, but tonight would be another good night to interview him after a historic performance, 5 touchdowns, and I'm pretty sure over 200 yards.
Nearly all of that in the second half.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who the offensive player of the game should be tonight. Tim, what do you think?
I'm kind of at a loss like you. It's hard not to give it to Debo.
No doubt. DeMarcus Bowman, our offensive player of the game. Our defensive player of the game, PJ Sloan, as Tim just mentioned his stat line a while ago. And special teams, I don't know if he can really have a special teams performer of the game tonight. A little bit shaky tonight. The third phase of the game for the Dreadnoughts. Give an honorable mention to Ski McWilliams on offense because he had one of his better games.
He did. He took a lot of the work early on and running the ball. Ooh, Savannah leading with Coach Castle, it looks like, maybe, right out of the gate.
It might just be interviewing only Coach Castle tonight with the bands. Let's see.
Yeah, possibly. That's right, a little bit different here with homecoming. The teams are going to get off the field and make way for the bands coming on. As I think Savannah's about ready for Coach Castle as the George Jenkins band comes on the field. They may have to move. Go ahead, Savannah.
Homecoming is this for you? It's got to be getting up there.
It's a few of them. Disappointed tonight. I'm not real pleased with the way we played. We're a lot better than what we played on offense. Defense played pretty good, but ridiculous penalties tonight. And if we're going to go win against tough teams, we're going to have to play a lot better than we did tonight.
Do you feel like there was a player though tonight that really stood out and really their hard work has paid off?
DeMarcus on offense, I mean, he ran hard for us and all. Defensively, Jahari Martin made a lot of big plays for us. And, it's like I say, the defense played pretty good, but we got to get better on offense.
Absolutely. Another week to prepare for next Friday.
It's a big one. Winter Haven, that's a big district game for us.
All right. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
See you.
Good night.
Savannah's having to get out of the way pretty quick as the band is setting up.
It is a walk and talk. That's okay. Just a little stroll and then the 50-yard line. Here's the George Jenkins band gets ready to perform. And not sure if she's going to have time to do any more interviews tonight, but she did a fantastic job on the sidelines throughout the game, as you heard. And we just heard from our director, Michael Barrett, that we can wrap this one up, and I'll head home. So we're back there. We'll wave to you. And God bless. Good night, everybody. Dreadnoughts on top. Winter Haven next week.
See you back here in Bryan Stadium in 2 weeks.
Dreadnoughts on a roll.
Dreadnought football webcast.
See you soon. God bless. Good night.
Have a great weekend.